the late OP. Everybody's late. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's well and good and life and safe and all that. Srinivas ji has said late OP. I appreciate it. Arun Singh Jasrotia. JMDLR kya hai? What is that? I don't even know what that means. Jimmy McGill asks, when is Sorabh coming on Unpopular Opinions? What is Unpopular Opinions? I don't even know what that is. I hope everybody's doing well. If you're stuck in some rainy world like Hyderabad or Pune or whatever, it's like, yeah. Srinivas G has already withdrawn his earlier late OP and replaced it by whatever OP. Saji Balan has said, bro, it's 10 minutes over the scheduled time. No, it's not. Now it is. Earlier it was 9 minutes. Sorry for that. Rishabh Agarwal says, since you're going to review anything, start with your subreddit. Oh shit, dude, send me the link, Rishabh. I will actually go through my subreddit once. I don't even know what is there. By the way, I started a Discord server, but we'll come to that shortly. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll just announce who's coming up next. On Saturday, we have a sequel happening for the first time. Actually, probably the second time. First time was EIC only. So second time, whatever. We see. I'm removing this because this is, as one of my guests mentioned, this is a free plug for Good Night. Good Night. If you want to sponsor, I will keep it back. So yeah, Saturday is Daniel Fernandez, Dr. Jason Leong, and Sharul Chana. If you guys didn't see the first video with them, it was quite absurd because we were talking about how Sharul, who's a comedian from Singapore, is joined a BJ workshop. And it's in one of the previous videos, so you can go and check that out. We're doing a sequel to that on Saturday. It's at 1:30 p.m. because I have a cred quiz on the cred app with Kumar Varun from 12 to 1. So that's going to be happening at 1:30 p.m. Coming up with the next few days, John Ronson, the author, is going to be here. Beer Biceps Ranveer Brar is going to be here. Who else is there, man? We just locked a bunch of people. I think Ritviz is also going to be coming. There's a couple of other people. I think Kaniz is doing one. Anyway, there's a lot of people coming. So in case you're tuning in for the first time, this happens every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday at 11 o'clock, usually, unless there's any change. Ayushma Adhikari says, Jai Mata Di, let's rock. Oh, JMDL. Yes, absolutely. Completely agree. Good to do. All right. Today, I'm going to introduce the guests in case you don't know what we're going to be talking about. And the flow of the conversation, the way it works is that I talk to my guests and then I take some super chats from you guys. Today, we're going to be essentially covering reviews and stuff that we are watching right now. But given how this podcast usually works, there might be a chance we might just land up talking about Mars or some shit. So just keep it as free-flowing as possible. So yeah, I'll wait for your super chats and all the rest of that stuff. And we'll move on to that. By the way, I've started a Discord server and I still don't understand what a Discord server is. I will put up the link and you guys can see what the hell it is. And we'll figure it out. I'll put up in the chat in 2 seconds after I introduce my guest for today. All right, my first guest for today, one of the leading comedians in his show, One Mic Stand. He's amongst the top 9 comedians on that show. Please give it up for Sapan Verma. Namaskar, dost.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know why your voice is coming from so far also.
Sorabh, just to pay tribute to you, I'm having peanut butter toast.
Dude, see, today I'm having Meatigo's very delicious organic chicken. It's damn tasty.
Is that a sponsored thing that you're talking about?
No, Meatigo, here's this free plug for you and your chicken organic jalapeno cheese burger patty. So
okay,
that's a free one for Meatigo. Okay, and I'll give you unfree one, which is a free one, which I'll actually be talking about. Okay, let's introduce a second panelist. She's an author. She's a writer. She's a director. She's directed 12 of the Game of Thrones episodes. Please give it up for Naomi Datta. Hi, Naomi. Hi.
Hi, Sorabh.
How is life, Naomi?
I am, Sorabh, before this started, I was just telling Sapan that I am in my bio bubble and I'm very happy in my bio bubble and I will meet people in 2022. I will be bankrupt by then, but it is okay. I'm very happy in this bio bubble. I will stay here.
But it's a question, right, to figure out whether life is more important than bankruptcy. That's the current conversation that everybody's having in their own head.
How do you want to die, basically?
Yeah. Do you want to die of starvation or of COVID? Those are the 2 options you have.
Good enough options.
Yeah. Or you can learn to grow potatoes like that guy in Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll introduce my fourth guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to introduce a piece of shit. Here's Sahil Shah.
Woo! My
Hi.
favorite piece of shit. Woo!
I am okay, let's just clarify a few things. First things first, I am the third guest, not the fourth guest. Secondly, man, how many times will you give the same piece of shit intro? I think I would appreciate some other abuses now once
Okay,
in a
let's
while.
try. Let's
Innovate
try
a
a new
little,
one.
Sorabh.
Okay, why don't you switch off your camera? All right, ladies and gentlemen, very proud to introduce this piece of garbage. Here is Sahil Shah.
Woo!
See, much better. Didn't it feel much better to innovate?
Much nice. It's a
Innovative.
new word.
Also, I think you meant like, if I'm not wrong, the that guy's beer biceps. His name is Ranveer Ahluwalia.
Allahabadia, not Ahluwalia.
Allahabadia. Sorry,
yeah, right.
you said Ranveer Brar. That's a chef.
Sorry, Ranveer Allahabadia is what I meant, not Ranveer Brar. I got confused.
I was like, when did he become into cooking and working out? Wow.
Good
This is a
combination.
very professional show, by the way. We always start late. I don't remember the guest names. I give bad introductions. It's all good. By the way, I had to say something. I completely forgot what the hell I was going to say. Oh yeah, sorry guys. I apologize to all my viewers. We have to do this every time. So we have to ask all our guests the most important question, which is that Sapan Verma, where is Salman Khan? Naomi Datta, tell us where's Salman Khan? Sahil Shah, where is Salman Khan? Please tell us. Tell us, Sahil Shah, where's Salman Khan?
A soda. That's
Naomi
where he was
Datta,
last
tell
quoted.
Tell us where's Salman Khan, Naomi. Please tell us.
I think Salman is busily cycling around as he usually does. And so, I live in Santa Cruz East, and I've seen many photos of him at 5 a.m. cycling around Bacola, bridge. So he's cycling around happily, and he's like cycling around, and that's where he is.
Naomi gives us a serious answer of where's Salman Khan, and Sapan Verma, where's
I'm
Salman Khan?
giving you a factual answer, which I know.
Yeah.
I know the show is a little low on facts and research and stuff, so I thought I should be the voice of facts and reason in this show, and because the research there is no research, so let me be the voice of research.
Sapan, tell me where's Salman Khan. Please tell us.
In my heart.
Nice. By the way, you think Salman cycles because it's very hard to run over someone in a cycle, or is that
You'd
joke
be
been done many
surprised.
times?
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Don't challenge people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good challenge.
Hey, by the way, this is I'm curious what Naomi you think about this whole Bollywood suing Republic TV thing, because Republic has turned it into a very nice sort of promotional thing also about how now they are the rebel channel who's being persecuted by blah blah blah. What do you think about the whole what's happening?
Republic is like this twisted 70s film, So like in the 70s, you had Amitabh Bachchan, who was the angry young man, okay, who's taking on the establishment. Here, he is trying to be this twisted, angry young, not very young man, angry middle-aged man who's taking on the establishment, but he's not the establishment. In fact, he is the establishment. So it's very twisted, and it's like, it's more twisted than any Netflix series can be. It's more edgy than anything can be. So anything you do to that man will anyway be used into, oh my God, look at me, I'm fighting for justice. So, anything you do is free publicity for him.
But it's so unsurprising also, right? Like if you had in this kind of situation, any channel would be like, yeah, we are, and I'm like, you're pro-government. That makes you very unrebellious. Like if you supported like the Pineapple Party of Hyderabad, and that was your entire purpose in life, I would be like, hey, look at these rebels here. It's like you're pro-government and you're like, we've been persecuted.
It's really twisted because he's like this man taking on the establishment, but he's the establishment.
Yeah.
It's kind of meta on many levels. It's amazing.
So what do you think? Are you following the story at all? What is the status of it? I think as far as I understand is that all of Bollywood's gotten together to file cases of defamation against them. That's roughly all it is, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what will come out of it really, because it's good they've done it. They should have done it a long time back. But at the end of the day, it's basically telling them, curb down on what you're calling us and stuff like that. But it's a gesture. So I'm not really sure what will come out of it.
Yeah, I also read about somebody said that they filed this in Delhi High Court.
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
a
that
very strange thing because why would you do it in Mumbai where you can actually take legal action against the public? Because this is more of a statement to make. And अगर करना होता तो बॉम्बे में कर सकते थे. Basically, they could have done that. Also, the other thing which is very interesting, which you have been pointing out, is that they've filed this against Times Now also, and they seen a Times Now and Republic have been like this. But will Bollywood boycott like Filmfare Awards and Filmfare Magazine and Femina Magazine, which is all Times Now group? Because that's the only way to kind of tell them to stop doing it by boycotting everything they do. Because this is very convenient. They have a Mirror Now also and a Times Now also, two different sides, and then they also have a Filmfare which will also praise Arya Chakrabarti or whoever. So it's quite convenient that way.
I mean, all film publicity is finally about Bombay Times front page. So do you
Yeah.
have guts, do you have the guts to say, I don't want Bombay Times front page. So if you can do that, then you're talking. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's a good
But-
gesture and we can all tweet and say, yay, well done, well done, well done, we are with you. But it's a gesture at the end of the day, So
Bombay Times front page should not be an achievement for anyone. I know it is publicity, but I have laughed so much looking at the Bombay Times front page articles because they are so. It's like every time I open Bombay Times or Zoom or any of these things, my only question is who cares? Who cares? Who's like,
See,
okay,
but you saw it.
this one's no, I didn't. So like, check out these 6 photos from their Maldives vacation. Who cares?
But Bombay Times front page is not that.
And Bombay Times front page is Vishnu met his friend Jia in the new TV Kasoti whatever, and then check out Jia's bullshit fucking reaction.
But now you know that Vishnu met Jia and
I'm making shit up. I don't read Bombay Times. It just irritates. I used to read.
What I find very funny is when they tell you unseen photographs. How is it unseen? Because I just saw them, right? So like unseen photos. And I'm like, but I just saw them.
I'm not making this up, but Times of India had this major sort of controversy. So they had this thing, the Times of India app, right? Where you put the app on and it's called Live. So someone had passed away and they had the, I don't know why, but close to it, there was the live feature. I'm not making this up. And it was so stupid.
By the way, it's so weird how everybody is plugging. So I was attempting to watch the news today in the morning. I was like working out, right? Because I'm one of the fittest people in India.
Yeah.
And I was just lifting up my bed and my building and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, let's watch some news. And I'm not exaggerating. I attempted to watch the news for 30 minutes and everybody was just playing ads. There was literally 3 minutes of news. I think India Today or whatever did 3 minutes of news. And then they started doing 8 minutes of ads. And I'm like, oh, this entire last 3 months has really been profitable for news channels. You've suddenly got a deluge of ads. See, my favorite word is back, guys.
Deluge
is back.
There's one of these news channels which has like a few of them now have on the laptops, they put stickers for the brands. I'm like, that is so sad. Yeah. Now you might as well be wearing like jerseys with logos on your t-shirt. That's going to be the next phase eventually.
That's a great idea.
Okay, yeah, that's a really great idea.
Call me, guys. I claim rights for this idea. All rights.
Dream 11 Republic.
Yeah, but
I don't know if there was a lag or you just ignored that.
No, I was just somebody, by the way, in the comments when I said Naomi's coming, said, "Oh my God, but she's dead."
Yeah.
Naomi Datta. Thank you.
And I'm dead. But I'm also very, very sort of clever because I did this sort of research on, I know in my heart, on gene transfer. So the thing is, Google's got me mixed up with this very accomplished person who's 80 years old and she's unfortunately dead. And she was someone who's who did stuff with genes. So the thing is, they have her accomplishments and they have my photos. So there I am. Holding my books, and there is this poor lady who's done all these incredible things, and we're both mixed up together. And I have to tell you this month, IIT Kanpur had called me for something to moderate some panel or whatever. So I went because I go for these things, like I'm here. So at the airport, they said these boys to pick you up and all of that. And there was this very buggy-looking fellow waiting for me. So I went and I was like, yeah, hi, I'm Naomi. He's like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. I said, yeah, sure. He said, no, because I didn't know who you were. And so while waiting for you, I Googled you and I realized you were dead. And I was like, oh God, we don't have someone to moderate our panel. And I was like, oh. So this happens and I don't know how to correct it. And I don't know, maybe I should just be dead. I don't
But I like how this boy's priority was like, now who will host our panel? Like his immediate second thought is like,
Keeping it real.
But I am Googling. I don't know why, but I was just right now Googling Naomi Datta dead, and I don't find any reports of her being dead or you being like, so.
I didn't find this very accomplished British person.
Uh-huh.
Married from Datta. She's actually British, and she's very accomplished. And they just don't correct. I don't know how to correct it. Also, I've reported it and stuff like that, and I was like, it's fine.
the only solution you have is to change your name spelling to like Naoomey or something. Like
Or change
your voice is going a lot actually. I don't know what mic you're using. Where's your mic? Yeah, it's just skipping a lot. Are you using a Bluetooth or what?
Should I not?
Yeah, it's
yeah, connected.
I don't think the audio output has been changed.
That's probably what it is. Our Manav has solved it. I think your audio output on the Zoom needs to change.
Also, internet connection in the afterlife is very, very low. So you have to be very careful.
Yeah, it's one of the toughest. They never said that's the problem with like all religion. No religion has ever spoken about the internet connection in the afterlife. They talk about what's going to happen and stuff like that. Not a single religion has ever said that, listen,
Yeah.
you won't be able to log on to Twitter after you die.
No, that's great. That's heaven.
Then I'll die. Yeah.
That's heaven. I'll kill myself.
Yeah.
But like, that's true, right? Like, no one tells me, like, if I go to heaven, hypothetically, if there is a heaven, what are the
Yeah.
facilities I'm getting? What am I getting?
Yeah.
Am I getting?
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in this bloody endless white space wearing white clothes and fly around. I don't want to do that shit. Like, are you giving me good things to do in life, like afterwards? Or then why am I
Yeah,
looking
like
forward to it?
I mean, like heaven sounds so boring when you have like Netflix and all, right? Like after a point, you're like, yeah, I'll be happy flying around, but like, give me some entertainment.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this is one of the things that we like to talk to all religious heads about, is the lack of Wi-Fi in the afterlife.
He's never mentioned.
Yeah, it's just this is the problem. Yeah, this is the problem with mainstream media. They'll not
Yeah.
report on this kind of stuff because it's not going to get you the views, right? But
Yeah.
this is important. I'm just trying to say that Republic, please have where is my Wi-Fi in the afterlife? As the next debate. I think that, by the way, we've stumbled upon a great idea for a fake debate, which is just for people talking about the after. Dude, by the way, I was watching The Onion, okay? And I was watching old episodes of The Onion on YouTube. And there's one of the funniest fucking videos on The Onion is a reporter saying that the India-Pakistan sort of whatever has reached its 11,975th day. And it's such a funny video because it's still relevant even now with everything that's happening. By the way, okay, I got to take a couple of chats. Vikrant Joshi says Republic being free hurts Arnab's business model. Everything needs to be sponsored. In the future, I see Arnab starting something like InfoWars. I don't think that's ever. Do you think that's ever going to happen? I don't think he needs to
100%.
start.
What is
Arnab-
InfoWars?
Basically, there's this guy called Alex Jones in the US he sits in his studio and he screams and he's like, this is what is wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then he sells stuff. Right? It's basically what Arnab does, but except he has
Yeah.
same thing, man. Arnab and Alex Jones are no different.
Oh, no, quite different actually.
He's both are
Alex
extreme.
Jones has ethics.
No, Alex is extreme right wing. Arnab still tries to cover it a little. That's the only difference I feel.
But-
He's not right wing, left wing, nothing. He's basically popular party. So
Your
that
voice is
Now your
completely
voice is
gone.
going again.
Okay.
Now your voice is going again.
You better complain to the angels around you, yaar. ये heaven में क्या like टट्टी internet आता है heaven में.
We can't hear you at all now. Now
I think
everything's gone.
I think you'll be better without the headphone. Just normally.
But also,
but-
I think if you connect to what's it called? I think a plugged-in earphone might help. I think. Sorry, I'm not
fair.
distracted. I'm not distracted. I'm just going through super chats and stuff like that. So don't think I'm rude. Okay, let's take a couple of super chats. Yash Thanawala says, big fan of the panel. Jai Mata Di, let's rock. Sahil Bhai Watana OP.
Yeah, JMDLR, everybody.
Can you
And
hear me
Harish,
better now? Sorry, sorry
Yes.
for interrupting.
much
Can you hear
Yes.
better.
me better now?
Much
Much
better.
better.
Much better.
So can I now repeat my very erudite point on
Yes,
or
please.
Yes.
not?
Yes,
So
please.
what I was saying is that he's not left wing or right wing or any kind of wing. You know what he is he's a shrewd. He knows where the popular pulse is and he will swing to it. Now tomorrow, if the country becomes communist, he will become the most strident communist in the world. You know, he will be like the grandfather of Marx also. So it's not like so. That's a lovely thing about him.
Nice.
He has no ideology. You know, the
Yeah.
ideology is of populism. So he knows where to which way to go. So I mean, tomorrow, like in 2 years time or 3 years time, suddenly you could become someone who's like the socialist, and you'll be like, "Isko kya hua?" And you'll have many more videos of him. But it's fine because that's the way he is, and it's for him. It's a business, you know. So he doesn't really have any ideology as such, apart from what makes me successful, which is the way it is.
I
It'll
found
be
an
amazing if they get Arnab to host both, like when he was in Times Now and Mirror Now, one after the other. Where he does the same panel at 9 o'clock with a right wing view and then goes next door and does the same with a left wing view.
But he can,
He
like
can. He totally can.
absolutely, he can totally do it. He's a performer.
What a great idea, dude! Arnab, like you have Raghu and Rajiv from Roadies. If Arnab had a twin like that, it would have been amazing.
I
You
mean,
mean
like,
you mean
that.
Rahul Shiv Shankar?
on
Yeah,
Navika.
basically.
Even Navika, all of them are twins of everyone on news. Okay, I'm going to just like come up here and say that I have not watched news for the past 1 month, and it
Sahil,
has
are you just going
been
to say I will just come up with my unpopular opinion and say it?
no. It's a popular opinion. नहीं देखना है यार. 1 month I have not seen the news, and it is actually very nice because now what happens is when someone tells me like XYZ happened, I'm like, oh shit, when did that happen? How did it happen? I form my opinion based on whatever someone like. If someone informs, okay, cool, that's it. I don't watch the news. Once in a while, I'll put Republic. I'll laugh a lot. I'll enjoy. I'm like, this is damn good fun. Shut the news. That's it. It's
But the
I don't
concept
pointless.
of
have.
him being on
I
two
haven't seen
separate
News Channel in
channels
years.
which have two different ideologies is really funny because then instead of anchored by, I'll just be acted by, right? And that's like it's actually a lot more honest.
Makes
I've
sense.
done so. I've done. I think has everybody done? I've done news debates with Arnab, with Navika, with Rahul Shiv Shankar, and a bunch of others. It's so interesting. The pre and like the
Yeah, yeah.
as a comedian, you're used to the performance, right? Where you
Yeah.
see a comedian before the show, and the comedian's just like, and like, ha 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 ha, and then like, like and it's literally the same transition that I've noticed with them, which is that pre and post. And I'm like, yeah, that's. I mean, it's fine. It's just interesting.
I'm trying to find a photo on my phone. Basically, in my highlights, a photo showed up 4 years ago when Sorabh and I are posing with Arnab, and we are very happy about the photo. And that was
Yeah, yeah.
6 years ago when we had met
Even
him, and
I
we were
found
like,
one.
"Oh, he's so nice." And now I'm like, delete this from the face of earth. This photo should not exist. We never met him. I never wanted to talk to him. Get out of here.
So I can't even do that because I worked for 3 years at Times Now. I was part of the startup team. So I
Same.
have photos where I'm cutting a cake. You know, I have photos where. So, you know, when Times Now was launched, they put us on the front page of Bombay Times. So we were all on the front page of Bombay Times together. And unfortunately, because I can't let myself be rid of that, so I've still got that clipping, you know, that newspaper clipping. I have it under the mattress and everything. So I can't, unfortunately, like obliterate that part of my
No,
existence.
you can. Anyone messages you saying, like, do you have any words about Times Now? You just reply saying, no comments. I'm dead. And then move on.
Oh yeah, I am there. So
You're
it's
dead.
Yeah, you're dead.
Hey, that's your TED talk. It's just Naomi saying I'm dead, and this is how you should deal with how to be dead. But again, I'm not like it's interesting about what Naomi touched upon, which is I think something that most of us are sort of aware of already, which is about how it's like my mom had a theory about a couple of top media houses, which is that you can sense who's going to win the election well in advance basis how they're twisting
yeah.
their ideology closer to the election.
To suit that.
And yeah, all the and the thing is that it's very very rare for any of those mainstream medias to be liberal, because the world as a rule is not liberal. There are very
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
people who are liberal and all the rest of the stuff. As a rule, most people are on some variation of either conservative or their group ist or whatever it is. But yeah, so that performance is so interesting, and like I'm really curious about, because I remember when Arnab and we did the debate with Arnab, he was literally like, freedom of speech is important, and we must protect
Yes.
these comedians, and they should be allowed to say what they want. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, what is
Dude,
this,
just
man?
yesterday I came across a video where you, me, and Karan Talwar had gone for the panel, where Tanmay had gone into that Snapchat controversy. And
Yeah,
that 1 minute clip had gone viral. Somebody tagged me in it, so I came across that one, where he says Snapchat is this medium, and we are all laughing because he's explaining Snapchat. And then he says, let me explain. Drought is this situation where this happens. And then he says, why is your party so obsessed with Snapchat and not drought? And I'm like, fuck, he was actually making points back then. What has
But it was
happened to him?
it was the same thing, right? I think when we had gone for that Arnab debate, so I remember you enter the Times Now office, the lift goes up, and he's standing outside the lift. Okay, so the lift door opens, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the dude I see on TV all the time. Okay, 6 years ago, and he's like, hi, hello, come for this thing, and we are sitting. Very soft spoken. You're like, how is it possible? Because he's not loud at all in real life. He's just like, okay, so sit, and we'll just, and yeah, we'll start. Okay. So you're on the negative side, you're on the positive side. He told us our sides also. Debate starts. Good evening and welcome to Times Now. Blah, 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 blah. Then he looks at me. Do you want to say something? I'm like, no, I'm quite happy. Don't you want to say something? I'm like, no, I really don't have anything to say. Say something. And then he starts laughing because no one on the panel has any point to give. And no matter how much he tried to trigger them, everyone was just wasting time.
But also, why did you go on the panel if you had nothing to say?
To rub my nipple on live TV. I have said it time and again. That was what I wanted to do. I was dying to go. I back then I had very simple goals in life. Go on national television and Arnab is not looking, just go like that.
It's a good enough goal.
And I did it.
So when Times Now was about to launch, we used to have dummy bulletins. So we took forever to launch. So the channel was called Times When for a very long time because we were just not launching. Okay, so 1 year we were just in pep talk mode. You know, we were in battle mode and we were going to change the world, which we did. So we used to have dummy bulletins and we used to have dummy news hours. So you always needed guests, guests to fill in. And I was always ready that I will be a guest on news hour. So I would go. So one day I would be Mahesh Bhatt, the other day I would be Ekta Kapoor, and I would go there. I would sit there, and Arnab would say, "Look into camera 4 and hold your heart and tell me, is this what you want to say?" And I would start laughing, because. But I would do it. I was a very good actress, I have to say. Imagine I played Mahesh Bhatt, I played Ekta Kapoor, I played a lot of. There was this one time I think I played Smriti Irani also. So can you see the versatility?
Nice, the range.
Yeah. So we would do this. So here's the thing. He was always going to do this. But at that point in time, so I was a big flop,
Right.
So the 3 years I worked with Times Now, it's a coincidence. It was a big flop. It's only after I left that it became a huge success. But the two events are completely unrelated. So, but so he was always going to be like that. And the times changed, and people want that kind of, I don't know, vigilantism, and I don't think he does this hold your heart anymore. But I think he should get it back.
So, I mean, just to give context a little bit, I think Naomi is a journalist, and you were at CNBC, you were at Times Now. Weren't you anchoring something on?
So I was at CNBC like for about 6.5 years, and I used to track media and entertainment. And it was a very, CNBC. It's very sedate, very nice, very business, and all of that. So at that point, Times. So this is the thing. It's very funny. Times said we're going to launch a business channel, and they wanted someone to work in features with them. And I met him, and he was quite soft spoken. And I told him CNBC is like my family, and he's like, "Oh, there is no such thing as a family. These are rites of packages." I used to think Dr. Prannoy Roy is my family, but he's not my family. And I said, "Oh, what a very straightforward man, So he said, join. So I joined, and I think within a month of joining, we were told this is not a business channel. So I was like, oh, really? He said, yeah, it's not a business channel, it's a general news channel, but we won't let people know that. So that when we launch, we'll take them by surprise, the competition. So they won't know that this channel is coming. And suddenly we will be like, suddenly, how that's that thing
the
with
suddenness, the sheer suddenness, yeah.
That strategy was employed even for our launch. that, we will tell the world we're a business channel. So the only channel worried will be CNBC saying, oh, business channel coming, business channel coming. But what we are actually is a general news channel, and we will just take the world by surprise. But
I
then,
like this surprise.
yeah, but then we took 1 year to launch. And uske pehle Rajdeep came and launched CNN IBM. And we're like, oh shit. Now what do we do? Because there goes the suddenness of our strike, right?
So
It's
what
like next time we'll be like, let's not announce, but we'll be a GEC channel.
Yeah.
But I like the surprise element where a viewer is watching and suddenly they're like, hey, the stocks are down. But also Shah Rukh Khan released the movie and they're like, fuck, this is a surprise. You're saying news and other news. But I'm curious. So I mean, having been in the midst of news channels and all these decisions, how much do you think the direction that they decide to take in whatever zone is completely intentional? And I'm not saying manufactured, but it's like, hey, so this kind of thing is not working for TRP, so we need to go. Like, I'm curious what the back end discussions on how they respond to situations and also the topics they pick up are.
So, honestly, Times Now sort of changed the game, because before that, there was just NDTV, which we all sort of grew up watching, and we all wanted to be like Dr. Roy, very sedate and very posh, and, all of that. But so I think Times Now came in, and they all kept saying we want to have the aggression of a Hindi news channel, which, so that for me is just a euphemism, which means that you're just going to become very fast paced and you're going to keep shouting. But it wasn't that bad, very honestly. Right in the beginning, it wasn't that bad. Of course, it had all become very. So I have to tell you this. He constantly would tell us that we will not follow the stories of the day. So if we will have our own big stories. So we were like, what does that even mean? He said, like, we are not going to follow the agenda of another channel. We will come up with our own big story. So at that point, I thought we will do some very investigative journalism, and we will unearth those stories. I didn't realize big story means anything that comes into your head. Like, you wake up in the morning and say, today's big story is this, and that's how it happened. And ratings, honestly, now we've had all the ratings.
TRP.
TRP scam.
No, the so-called scam. Ratings for niche channels is a joke, because how can you have ratings based on like some 500 households? It doesn't make sense. Ratings for general GEC channels still make sense because their sample size is that much bigger. But for niche channels, sometimes I feel we go on so much and so much about news, but the news viewership is like it's like smaller than the coronavirus. It's really minuscule and
Yeah, but it spreads faster than the coronavirus. That's the problem.
it spreads faster, but
it's more deadly also.
Yeah, ratings to measure a niche channel like news is actually a joke, and that's the problem. So I think gradually, because he succeeded so well, everyone started doing the same thing, and now there's no news left in news. I mean, this year's been particularly bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to take a couple of super chats and then we'll come to what we are, this thing which is about reviews and stuff.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, we're doing that.
News is too negative. Let's move on to positive stuff here. Come on.
Oh, but listen, but this is, have you guys never seen this show before? This is literally what happens is that we come with a topic.
I literally messaged Sorabh right now saying, talk about pop culture now. Why are we being so negative about news and all, dude? It's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, see, there you go. I agree.
Yeah. News is pop your bubble culture. When you watch, you're like, everything sucks.
Okay, we're going to talk about pop culture. I'll just read a couple of super chats and then we'll talk about it. Harish Venkat, thanks a ton for everything you do. Thank you, man. I appreciate it as well. Thanks for your super chat. Sagar Rane says, Arnub is a performer, not a journalist. I think if you're talking about Arnub, then he's definitely a performer. Current one, we'll figure it out. Jigisha Patel, thanks a lot for your super chat. $200. Appreciate it. Sai Krishna, thank you. Sai Krishna says the problem with news channels is that TRAI has caps on what audience can be charged. This makes news channels compete for limited ads and race to the lowest common denominator. That's actually interesting. I don't know that there's a limit to how much you can be charged. Is that, what do you think?
I don't think. I think the ad rates are really like dirt cheap for news channels in any case. It's like really nothing at all.
I think he's talking about subscription, what the audience can be charged. Like, it's like, it can't be over like...
Yeah,
5 rupees, 4 rupees or 5 rupees.
Yeah, not sure.
Because that would be actually kind of interesting. Where it's like if they update these things, how much? I'm also not even sure how much like they make from audiences anymore. Like I doubt
Yeah.
it's that much.
I think generally the TRAI is sort of puts a cap on how much you can charge for for every channel, not just. I'm not sure. I haven't tracked it for many years, but yeah, I think generally there is, but I'm not terribly sure.
So, Sai, that's an interesting conversation. We should talk about it soon. Monish Ahuja, thanks a lot. He says, hello, Sorabh. Good to see the EIC group along with Naomi. Sahil joined Republic, I believe. I hope he doesn't shout, Mujhe drugs though. That's Sahil, come on. Just for Monish, I think you should,
I love it. That has been my favorite meme template ever. मुझे drugs दो, MDMA दो, चरस दो, गंजा दो, सब कुछ दे दो. I love it. I love it's so some. I don't want to get into the news territory, but just thank you Arnab for all the memes. My
Okay,
favorite. कुछ भी.
Okay, let's talk about pop culture. Let's do a round robin. Let's start with Sapan. What are you watching? What are you consuming? What's happening?
What am I watching? I started watching this very nice French show called Call My Agent on Netflix,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun. Because I saw this fuck all pseudo French show called Emily in Paris before that, which was so bad. And it was basically meant for Instagram. Basically, it's just an influencer campaign. It looks like that. So then somebody said that if you were disappointed, then watch Call My Agent. It's actually a lot of fun. Very, very nice. And OML managers would also relate really hard to it.
I'll check it out. I've never even heard of it.
It's great.
An amazing show. It's amazing. I watched it.
And all the French superstars make cameos. Like Entourage, every episode has French superstars doing cameos. So that was really good. The other thing I saw, which was nice, was nobody spoke about this show called Friends from College, dude, on Netflix.
Oh, I love. I have seen a couple of episodes of Friends of College. Actually, damn, very silly. And Fred Savage is hilarious, dude. Yes. Fred Savage fucking kills it in that show.
So much fun.
Yeah. So it's actually a fun show.
But it got cancelled after the second season.
So that show reminds me of another show, which is one of my favorite sitcoms, which is Happy Endings. I don't know if you've seen Happy Endings. It's basically it takes the premise of the of Friends and turns it around. So the idea of Friends was that she walks in and she walks out of a wedding. So in this case, what happens is that this girl walks out of a wedding, and the guy who she walks out on is part of the group.
Oh, okay.
So it's really, really funny. The last, I think, 2-3 episodes of before they ended or whatever was not that great.
It's an old show.
Very old, like, and it's got who's that really funny? What's that movie? They did those spoofs on horror films, and the guy who was there in that scary movie that guy's son or something, like in that Wayne's brothers ka pura jo jhund hai,
the Marlon Wayans.
So he's one of those Wayne's brothers. He's fucking hilarious, and the whole cast is really, really good. There's this girl who plays this lady who plays this woman who has OCD, and she was there in the last season of Scrubs, and she fucking kills it, because to be like, you think that Monica ne sab kiya hai, but it's like it's very specific and really funny. So I really enjoy that show. But Friends from College also is damn good fun.
Friends from College is nice.
Making a list of things that I need to consume, because I've gotten bored of watching stuff. Like every day, it's the same thing. I'm like, I don't want to start this. I don't want to start this. Right now, I'm sitting and watching Schitt's Creek because I'm like, chalo, might as well now commit to the show.
Yeah, you didn't like Schitt's Creek, no?
It's not. So the thing is, Schitt's Creek, people were like, oh my God, Schitt's Creek, very funny, very funny. And I'm like, it's not a very funny show. It's a nice show. Like, it's not like, not like that type show. You watch it and you're like, yeah, it's like
But I got addicted to it after season 3. Then I was like,
season 4 is really nice. Season 4 has some amazing moments. But again, like I'm saying, I don't remember the last time I saw it and I laughed out loud. Because there are very few shows where I see and I'm like, ha. Otherwise, I'm just like, fun, nice, oh, sweet. And Schitt's is always one of those things where
stop judging, man, Sahil, and start enjoying. Live it up, laugh a little.
I enjoyed. I'm not saying I didn't.
What is a fit? I just go, ha. Enjoy, you're watching TV, just laugh.
It has to be like, I'll tell you.
I'm a tough laugher, I don't laugh.
No, I'll give you a recommendation, okay? I'll give you a recommendation. I saw something right now which was so bad, but it was so stupid. The new movie of Adam Sandler called Hubie Halloween. Okay,
Ha,
it's
ha.
very bad. It's tremendously bad. But there is this one part where he looks at this chick and this nun comes next to him and she goes, I am asexual, but even I would tap that. And then she stares into space. And it is so random. I burst out laughing at how
So this is the
stupid that
problem with
was.
Sahil. Sahil laughs at random things.
Yeah.
Like he laughs when things are really bad or really absurd, not normal.
The fault is not with Schitt's Creek. The fault is
Yeah, yeah.
By the way,
Also,
if you're
sorry,
watching
one
the
show that
stream,
was really bad, which I expected a lot from was The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Yeah,
Blah manner, I call it. Blah.
Yeah. What happened?
bad or
Yeah, Hill House was so good. Hill House is like, I think, favorite horror show because it's just so well done. And Bly Manor is just a love story. So I was like, but
What
people are still think it's very nice.
what Hill House did was Hill House kind of redefined the horror trope.
did
So
you
like
say
a,
Hill
Yeah.
House? Why are you
Hill
saying
House.
Hill House? You're saying what Hill House did.
The Haunting of Hill House. Also a Sahil's ex-girlfriend.
No, but like that show kind of, see, if you watch a lot of horror, like I have seen every horror movie out there, and after a point of time, every horror movie has the very simple trope. You'll be staring here, peeche someone will be running, or it'll be a jump scare. Okay. Hill House didn't do that. It had very subtle horror and also the way it twisted things. Like, spoiler alert, if you've not seen the show, then I don't know what you're doing here.
Don't.
Hey, come on.
Don't
I'm
watch
just
it.
going to say the bent neck lady
Yes.
scene is the best scene I've seen in
Yeah,
horror in a
that's great.
very long time. That's all. No spoilers. Just watch the show if you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, I love watching scary stuff, but it's like how, Sapan, you were saying that, Sahil is like, make me laugh. For me, it's like that about scary stuff. I'm like, I don't scare easily. I don't scare
Yeah.
easily. So, so is Hill House that kind of show which will scare you? Like, give you a good.
Hill House is good. It's good horror, but it's so what I like about that is that all the things that happen in the show are justified by the end of it.
Okay.
So once you finish the show, you don't feel scared anymore because in that world it made sense that it was scary over there, but you won't feel this thing. But the story is very good and everything makes sense. It comes together really well.
To answer a question, yes, it has a few jump scares. Basically, the idea is that very few jump scares, but those are oh shit! I didn't expect this jump scare.
There's one episode, I think episode 7 or something, which has crazy amount of one take shots. Remember, Sahil? It's so you will just go mad looking at it.
Is it better than Ahat? That's the question we must ask this.
Oh no, nothing is better than Ahat.
Dude, do you genuinely remember watching Ahat and going like, fuck, this is like, oh.
Yeah, I was thinking Ahat only. No, I think that was Z Horror Show.
Z Horror Show.
I remember as a kid, I had seen one episode where I don't know, somehow in my mind, I feel like Paresh Rawal was in that episode, but maybe I'm mistaken. But basically, the guy gets into a car accident and he comes back and his eye was dislocated. So like there was a detached, like a table tennis ball hanging from his face. And it had freaked me out as a kid. I remember I was so scared. I used to have nightmares about this. Huh? What happened?
What happened?
Okay, by the way, if you're watching the stream, please. You froze. If you're watching the stream, please comment about which of these shows you watched and enjoyed. And also, if you just discover the stream, please like and subscribe. Again, to remind you that this happens 4 times a week. So yeah, please, this thing. I'll just take one super chat about, I don't know how many people remember Ahat and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, there's a few super chats from people. I'll just take them shortly. Ashrit Ash says, for Sahil, love childish behavior, 100. So
I love it. I'm loving you guys. Thank you.
By the way, you know which show which was a great horror TV show was American Horror Story?
I've not seen it. I've tried my best. I've never seen a single. All the anthology series excite me. Especially, I wanted to see the Freak Show wala one, but I've never sat down to watch them.
I saw the basic one. The acting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Jessica Lange is like some other level of crazy. And it's a very interesting and it's a really creepy show. It's very creepy because some of the twists you're like, just like after a point, you know how a show just makes you so uncomfortable. They're like, I can't do the second season. I'm like, I can't get to the second season of this. So yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed.
I'm going to recommend 2 things. Okay, on both sides of the spectrum. One is, if you want super scary, there was a movie that came out in 2007, Spanish movie called Rec, R-E-C. Okay, it is, and they made an American version called Quarantine, which is horrible. But basically, this reporter enters a building, the building gets shut down, and it's about what happens inside the building when there is a lockdown. Amazing movie. Watch it right now. Watch the original Spanish, and there are scenes that will make you scream. It is actually very, very scary. And on the other end, since based on a horror zone, there is this show, very few people have seen it. It's a niche British show. It's called Garth Menage's Dark Place. Okay, basically it was this guy who's like, hey, I found an old version of my show that I released, and I'm going to show it to you. It's a parody of a horror show, and basically the whole gist of the show is that he's showing us a show he shot in the 80s that is so low budget that they didn't plan it properly. So there are intentional continuity errors. Like the camera will pan, for example, the camera will pan to Sapan and he's holding a coffee cup. It pans to me. When it pans back to Sapan, he's holding a shovel. And he's like, so what happened? It pans back to me, pans back to Sapan, there's a coffee cup in his hand. It's that, like, it's intentionally bad. What a great show. Very few people have seen it.
It's Gareth Marenghi's Dark Place, and it's one of those shows which if you watch, you'll be literally not get it. It's really fucking stupid, and it's got the guy from IT Crowd. And so the show is intentionally bad, and they couldn't get, I think they couldn't do a season, a second season, because they just had 6 episodes of it. And the reason they couldn't do more is because to make it look that bad was impossible. Like, so one of the dumbest things they used to do was that it's basically about this hospital where crazy shit is happening all the time. And the hospital is like, it's like every time you do a pan out, right? It's just a actual badly made hospital, like jo bacche banate hain. Like that level ka this thing. So it's so bad that they couldn't do a second season. That's how fucking weird the show is.
Yeah, because how do you purposely make something look bad? Like that's the idea, right? I mean, I think you're a great actor if you can act in a role and make it look amateurish. Like that's a great acting skill. I have just one question to ask. See, whenever I talk about Dark Place, I feel no one has seen it. Like, I really feel that I'm the only person in the entire world who may appreciate
Dark Place.
So, this Gareth Marenghi's Dark Place. Do you guys have a show or movie that you think no one in the world would have seen it?
I'm very populist, you know. I actually watch the most popular stuff, like bad popular stuff, which everyone would have seen, and I even enjoy that kind of stuff. So I don't have these that kind of stuff. So I'm feeling very sort of competitive.
The one show that I think not many people saw, but was great, was Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip.
Oh, great,
Which I think got cancelled after 2 seasons again. Matthew Perry, written by Aaron Sorkin. What a great show. But again, that's not a popular show at all. And you won't find it, I think, on any streaming platform. But that's very...
So I'll tell you a book that I read, which I recommend to everybody, which is a really entertaining book. It's called Apocalypse Z: The Beginning of the End. Okay, and it is it's literally one of those rare books that was released by the author directly on Kindle, and it's a Spanish zombie book, and it is damn good. Like, and it's very entertaining. Like, it's just super fucking. If you're not even a massive fan of reading, it's just quick. It's very quick, and it's slightly different with regards to the zombie world that is created, because, like, I think that zombie story, right? It's almost become like a template now. It's like the superhero template, and different countries attempting to do the template is kind of interesting. So the Spanish guy's take on the template is and it's really entertaining and fun. So it's called Apocalypse Z. I think there's 3 books there, or 4 books or whatever. I've read all 4 of them.
I'm writing down
really entertaining stuff.
Taking records, because
you should make a list by the end of it.
Yeah, you should make a list and make a list and tell people to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I've been watching a lot of non-fiction on documentaries and stuff like that. And I started, so in the beginning when the trailers of Bad Boy Billionaire came out, the news journalist in me was like, what is this? So we've seen, you know, it's just a collation of stories that we already know. So I wasn't that interested. But I started watching it, and I watched it. And I think it's really very good because of the very even tone of the documentaries, you know. So I think we've gotten so used to hysteria that you have this very even tone, and even though it is a collation of facts which you already know, there are things which you've forgotten because they're not stuff that you remember. So I was, I saw the Vijay Mallya one yesterday, and that was like, there's a common, and I'm also watching Scam 1992.
Yeah,
A lot of
Which I've
people
heard a lot
talk
of good
about
things
it.
about. No?
I've
It's
heard a
really
lot
good
of people
apparently.
talk about it.
It is extremely good, and also because there's major 90s nostalgia. I mean, I'm in this phase of my life where I think I'm turning into my parents, where you constantly say "Hamare zamane mein." So for me
yeah,
now, "Hamare zamane mein" has become the 90s. So I'm
90s, yeah.
constantly playing on things which are from the 90s. So Scam for me, even if so, I mean, I watched Scam and I watched the Vijay Mallya episode and I watched the Subrata Roy episode, and it's amazing that the way we do scams hasn't changed at all. So the guy will come out of nowhere, he will do this, he'll be flamboyant, there will be Bollywood people around him, which always happens, and he'll have a lot of money, and then he cheats a PSU bank.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Except Subrata Roy, I must say, he was doing direct to home cheating. He didn't go via PSU at all.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
it. That's what it is. It's like a PSU comes. So that's if that's Harshad Mehta or if you have Vijay Mallya, it's the same thing. So I was like,
Yeah.
at least there's remarkable consistency in how we do our
Yeah.
scams. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this
There's
template
a
is very
method to
good.
madness.
Yeah.
Formula head.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't change. It is the same formula. So yeah, so this is what I've been watching. Like Scam is something you should really, really watch because I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
It's well written, it's well researched, and and Bad Boy Billionaire again. I think that's something
Bad Boy Billionaire was fun.
very well done.
Bad Boy Billionaire, I saw
Yeah.
Vijay Mallya episode. I'm like, theek hai, cool. This is stuff that I sort of know. I saw
Yeah.
the Sahara episode and I was like, holy hell, I
Sahara
didn't
is the one that
know.
creeped me out also.
I've been doing Sahara Pranam for the past 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe this was a cult. It still
Yeah,
is a cult. He's
is.
still there. He's not like he's
A Wild
absconding.
Wild West meets
Dude,
Wild Wild Ambivali.
that assistant is his Mashila.
Yeah.
I love the assistant.
Yeah.
I love the assistant.
What a
Oh,
great
that's-
episode.
I really got to watch it. But by the way, just to add to what Naomi said, Rajat Shah has given a super chat. Hi, Rajat, my friend. How are you doing? He says, binge watched Scam 92 by Hansal Mehta over the weekend. Brilliant show.
Yeah.
Rajat Kapoor's cameo stole the show for me. Rajat or Rajit? Rajat Kapoor, right?
Rajat. Yeah.
Okay,
Rajit
done.
is Byomkesh Bakshiwala Rajat Kapoor.
I'll have to get Sony Live for this.
Yeah, now I have
So
to
I
heard
had
download.
so
to
much
get
about
Sony
it.
Live for this. Yeah, I was
Ah.
resisting, but then I was like, okay, let me get it. So I just got Sony Live for this. So
Yeah, that's what the show.
but there
people
was
are
something
talking about.
very, if you've seen the Vijay Mallya episode, the Bad Boy Billionaire one, there's one part which is very funny that, the first sort of document which came out on him saying that, his financials are all very dodgy was because there was this guy who had come from some research agency in Canada. Okay.
Canada,
He was
yeah.
Indian, and he sat in the plane, the Kingfisher plane, and he was like, Are, the service is so good. Are, this plane is so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Are, they're giving me so
Not
much
possible.
legroom. How is this possible? There has to be something wrong. And I was like, so
Yeah.
bad.
You're the
So I
first
was-
guy who's doubting good things in life.
The
So I was-
reason he investigated it was because Kingfisher gave him a good experience. Can you imagine? How is this possible? I have leg room. They're giving me
Yeah.
It's
How
so
are you
weird.
serving lobster on the flight?
I was working on I'm writing my fourth book, which is I decided that I'm going to write nonfiction. And I was writing about so I was trying to figure out this thing before, and this is pre Bad Boy Billionaires, and I was trying to figure out what the hook with regard to the scams is, and it turned out it's a golden visa for the UK, right? So and the
Yeah.
UK golden visa is a very interesting concept which a lot of us are aware of, and I just did a lot of research on it and figured out that a lot of countries offer it, and I'm like, why doesn't India offer a reverse one? Where it's like just do a same one for Vijay Mallya, where it's like you pay back your loan and then just spend like 3 weeks in jail and we're fine. But yeah, what I was stumbled upon was that he got these loan sanctions on the basis of this pitch. On the basis of the pitch that I remember Shuruat when Kingfisher Airlines started, he said that they're going to be models as air hostesses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And if I'm a bank, okay, and I'm like hearing this pitch from this person who's like, hey, the air host and models at that point of time were charging probably like $35,000 a gig, which means each time you have 4 models on a ship on a plane, that's like 1.4 lakhs just for the air hostesses, not including the training cost for making them air ready and all that kind of stuff. And you're charging ticket prices that's $3,000. if you're selling 180 seats, even if you're doing a sold out seat, that's 5.4 lakhs, not including fueling costs, not including the rest. There is no way you're making money, even just including the air hostess model. So I'm like, who sanctioned these loans? What bank is like, this is approved? And the number of people who've been arrested in the case is for a fact that something came from the Civil Aviation Ministry, which approved this stuff, which said that, listen, we need to give a boost to the aviation industry in India right now. It's currently blossoming and you need to get this done. And none of that is ever going to come out. It's always these stooges and the people on the side who get fucking whatever.
But like, you have to admit it. You have to admit it where credit is due. I remember when Kingfisher was in its heyday, everyone was like, damn, oh man, that's a life I want. Vijay Mallya life. Dude, Mallya life. Yeah, I remember at once we had gone to, I mean, we were not allowed. We were just randomly driving and we stopped by his bungalow in Goa. And I'm like, whoa, damn. One day I want to like check this out. Or I've flown Kingfisher and I was like, dude, he's got everything going on for him, man. And then,
also, I didn't know that he actually drove like Formula One cars. He won racing.
Even I didn't know that. Even I
was blown away by that fact. I was like, wow, this guy is cool, little bit cool.
Cool, yeah.
So the Sahara one is interesting. I got to watch it just for the Sahara one because I don't have enough information. Dude,
Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi, we know the stories because we've all kind of seen it and we've done jokes about it and all. Sahara one is like new territory completely.
Little, yeah.
It's scary actually because, like you said,
it's
when he had that so many people standing together and singing the national anthem, and here's the guy using nationalism to get out of.
Or the fact that everyone calls him Sahar Shri and everyone does Sahara Pranam. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
he reminded me of Darth Vader that way. He had like an army who had to wear the same uniform, we had to address him in a particular way. It was basically full Darth Vader scene.
I just want to mention to anybody who's watching who's in the HR or marketing department of Sahara, Sahil and Sapan, you shouldn't hire for a corporate show. I still think Sahara is great and you can hire me.
Listen, I have not said anything. I just said Sahara Pranam.
Sahara
part of the group.
Best hotel.
That and another thing that I have been saying for 2 months, which no one ever says, is this thing called Japnam. And I'll tell you why Japnam, because I saw this show. I cringe watched it only because I wanted to and I forced other people to watch it. Ashram on MX Player.
I knew it was coming.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I loved it.
Well, I'll tell you when I realized the show is going to be bad is because in the trailer itself they had 2 bad puns. He's not a god man. He's a con man. That's one. And then the second was some other similar kind of pun. And I'm like, how lazy is your writing that in your trailer? This is like...
It was fun.
He's legend, but he's like smirking throughout the trailer. Like, he's just smirking. Like,
dude, Bobby is waking up shirtless in every episode. I'm like, what Baba is, what is happening? I am not, but I saw it for 4 episodes. Still, I reached the point where this show is shot so badly. Like I am not a VFX expert, but I have downloaded bloodshot wounds and all of that from the internet for college projects. The things that I have downloaded are still better quality than what is used in the show. It's that bad. I'm like, you can't be that amateur, guys. Then I stopped. It was.
Okay, I got to take a few chats. Saji Balan randomly, this is a normal chat, says, I dare you to watch a Serbian film.
I've seen it. Don't watch it. Don't even.
Oh, I know what this is. This is bullshit. Please don't watch it. It's absolute bullshit.
It's a scam.
It's one of those like Rick Rolling ka horrible version. Just don't watch it. See, you try to outscrew us. We are ahead of you and at the curve, and we are helping our audience.
It's only now that I have cut down on the amount of stuff that I consume. But over the past 10 years, I have seen so much nonsense that I have seen a lot. I've consumed a lot of content. It's only now that I've stopped watching as much as I used to. So you name 2-3 things and get out of here. Get out. Hut, bache. Serbian film. Hut. Well, I have to say one thing, if you don't mind. I have spent the past 2 weeks.
I do mind.
It's fine. I overrule you. Playing video games. And I've played this game.
I was thinking if we should come to that, but both of you guys have not played video games.
I'm not going to take much time. There's just this one game that a lot of people have been telling me to play.
Let me do the super chat and then we will come to you. Yeah, there's just like 7 people. Then they start complaining that I'm ignoring them.
Yeah.
Akhil Pisharodi, who's a member of this channel, gets extra precedence. So I'm just reading his comment. He said, "I thought Sahara was a hotel company. My dream was to at least go to Sahara's washroom someday." And by the way, I have done that. Like when I had absolutely, I went to the Sahara Star bathroom, and it is fucking exciting, dude. Like I remember like 7, 8 years back and shit. Going to the Sahara bathroom was really exciting because Sahara Star is a very magical hotel in a very weird way, right? Because I've not seen
Very
anything
weird
like
hotel.
it. Yeah,
Very, very
yeah, yeah.
It's
And then
I don't know.
like if you have to get your room there, I had a corporate show at Sahara Star, and they said your
Yeah.
room is like whatever 2462. You literally have to go around the whole circle to get to the room, which
It's
is
damn
really
annoying.
amazing. But still nice room. So yeah, thanks Akhil for that. Divya Warrior has given a super chat. Thank you so much, Divya. She says, met Sahil at a design conference few years ago. I went up to Sahil and out of anxiety started naming the other comics and how good they are. उस रात अपन 4 बजे तक दारू पिया. Instead of talking about his work, I am sorry. And she
That's
puts
I
that
forgive you,
emoji.
Divya. I told her I forgive her. I forgive her.
And then Ashish Parkhe says, has anyone understood Dark? I've not even seen Dark. Have you guys seen Dark?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
have either.
We
So
had
then-
done back in the heyday when EIC used to do live streaming. We had done a full 1 hour live stream about Dark, and at the
Yeah,
end of it,
understand that.
we still didn't know shit of what just happened. So yeah,
Naomi, have you watched it and understood it?
So no, my friends tell me you have to sit with like a spreadsheet and like you have to write down the names and make sure that you don't lose track. And that's too much work for me. I can't invest
Oh.
so much into understanding a show and stuff. I like comfort watches, like
It's
Yeah.
an investment, but like it's really good. Like it's
Yeah,
sometimes you're like,
I'm
what the fuck
sure.
is this? I don't want to watch this anymore. But by the end of it, you're like, holy shit, what
yeah.
did
The
I just watch?
ending wrapped it all up
Yeah.
together, and I'm like, man, that was so nice.
Yeah, and like I can't binge watch also. That's the other thing. I'm quite old that way. I'm like quite like I'll watch one episode at a time, and it's okay. For me, it's not a competitive sport, It's not like some
Yeah.
endurance sport that I have to say, you know what, I finished in one day. What? You took a week? I finished in one day. So I mean,
I have reached that stage now. I agree with you.
yeah, so I don't do that. I've never done it. I don't binge watch at all. So I'm
I
quite
finished Mirzapur last week.
Yeah.
2
yeah.
years
So I'm
after it
still
released.
watching Schitt's Creek
Did
like
you
around,
like it?
So
Did you like it?
Who are you asking?
Mirzapur.
you
Mirzapur, nice, but not. I mean, the hype is so much.
Because you've seen it after 2 years, so I think that's
No,
why.
I
But
saw it
it's-
also recently and I
It's
still
very
like
nice. Everybody's acted really well. I loved Ali Fazal. I loved Pankaj Tripathi. I loved everyone in it. But I just like story-wise, it's a very
done there.
like
no?
very heartland, very UP Bihar gangs of Wasseypur story.
Yeah.
And something that's just unnecessary. Like something I felt why this is just like for like that. I don't want to give spoilers for guys. We'll discuss this later.
It's 2 years later. What spoilers are you giving
The
for
scene where
Mirzapur?
where she chops off the dick. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is the point of that?
It's-
That is so
dude,
pointless.
I saw it and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
That
That's
is
the
just
idea.
like I'm like, what like just to make it edgy, you can't do anything now.
Yeah. I'm so tired of this edgy word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone
मुझे
wants
वो
to be edgy, and which is why I also enjoyed Scam because it's just normal regulation. Somebody's not breaking out into a cuss word for the heck of it. You don't have
Yeah.
some profanity being thrown at you. So I'm not being prudish, but I think after a bit, this edgy thing gets to
Yeah.
me.
Even I'm
So
done with it.
that's
But
only-
I really like the way it ended, like the way like who survived and who died. So I'm really excited for season 2 in that way.
yeah.
Mirzapur. But overall, I was like, it's nice, but
I really liked it. I saw it like recently, like a few months back. I saw it. I really liked it because I was genuinely very surprised by how good Ali Fazal is. Like
Ali
he
Fazal, dude, yeah.
destroyed, dude. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's so-
fuck, this is like a phenomenal performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still really I like how season 1 ended. Also, I think it was an interesting space for it to end.
I think
And yeah, I think season 2 is coming, but it's one of those shows where I think I'll wait a little bit before watching it because you really have to be in the right zone, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the one show that I genuinely binged, like which I've never done in a really long time, was The Boys. I literally went through all this 2 seasons in like 11 days and completely had a ball watching it. Naomi, have you seen The Boys?
So I watch, so I'm very squeamish in the
Right.
sense that, so I can't take too much of sort of blood. I mean, I worked in
Don't watch. Don't watch.
so I can't take stuff which is too violent or whatever. But,
Don't
but
watch.
I know exactly. But I know about it. Also, we have the source material at home because we have the entire 12-part graphic novel
Awesome.
series.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we have that sort of gone through it. I think it's very interesting, but I don't think it's something I can watch because I like the whole fact that it takes down the whole superhero trope,
Yeah.
where you're into Marvel and DC and everything, and then something
Yeah.
comes along which is so like destroys it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sometimes it's also I feel like it's like a call out of celebrity culture because we have these
Yeah.
manufactured celebrities, and
Yeah.
then you have this coming along saying these are manufactured people, they don't deserve the kind of adulation they're getting. So all of that works for me on a very sort of intellectual, sociological level, and I can probably write a piece on it. But to actually see that much of like blood and gore is like too much for me. I'm like really very squeamish. You know what I've been doing? I've been watching 90s movies and all. Like I've got into this time warp, and I'm in denial. I'm like, I don't want to be in 2020, and I'll just now
Yeah.
regress back to the 90s and watch. I watch Mujhse Dosti Karoge. Like I've been watching Mujhse Dosti.
What a
What a flip.
Yeah, those are the levels I have plummeted to. I'm like, no, I will watch.
Nice.
No, that's good to fill yourself with like happy thoughts and happy movies,
Yeah.
because nowadays
Yeah.
all content that also comes out is filled with, there is some like
By the way,
stop
you
it.
could not have picked out a more 90s
More-
film than Mujhse Dosti Karoge. Like that is such a typical 90s.
Mujhse Dosti Karoge is one of the rare movies where I was actually very impressed by Uday Chopra comes in the end. No, I was like, wow, what a cool
Yeah, he
guy.
was the best thing about the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Dude,
wow, what a
Uday
cool
Chopra
guy.
gets a lot of flack for no reason. I think like I've always been
Yeah.
entertained by him. Like I remember when I
Yeah.
saw Doom. Which one was the last? Which is the one where he keeps having like crazy dream sequences? Was that?
Doom only. I think Doom 2.
Doom 2.
Best,
Bipasha.
best. Too much fun.
But
it
that
was.
becomes a trend for him, right? Where it's
Yeah,
like every
yeah.
single.
Yeah.
Those sequences were really fucking funny, dude. And Uday Chopra again is like really genuinely funny on Twitter. Like I think
So-
I think this is what's happened, right? Where it's like people are just like, this is how things are, and this is how
Yeah.
our perception of people is, and that's how it's going to
Yeah.
be because we've just believed the hype or the lack of hype about it. And I for one, I really enjoy it. I think he's absolutely absurd and strange. So
So
yeah.
Uday Chopra blocked me on Twitter, I think many years ago. I must have done some shitty jokes about him. Many years ago, I wanted to unblock. But I realized this, like with a lot of these actors, like Uday Chopra and even Abhishek Bachchan, for example, that if they entered Bollywood now,
Right.
they would do much better. They would not get because that time, 15 years ago, the only thing that you could be was a hero, like a good-looking,
Right.
six-pack abs, good actor. But now you have so much options to do, like what Ali Fazal is doing in Mirzapur and so many web series and this and that they would have better options and they would do better.
Yeah.
They would not get trolled and hated so much for being who they are. So I feel like Abhishek Bachchan, I feel was ahead of his time in that way. He
He's
did some
coming
good
back.
movies also like that.
He's coming
Besides,
back.
like some really cool movies, dude. Like Bluffmaster, one of my favorite movies still. Like really
Yeah, that
nice.
was cool.
Yeah, so some really good stuff that he had done, but he didn't get credit for it then. Like now, if they came in, they would be this generation like Vicky Kaushal and Rajkumar Rao, that zone.
Yeah. I mean, those 90s, it was really truly about being a hero type. Now you have to
Hero,
do
yeah.
a certain way, you have to
Yeah.
act a certain way. You have to say, like, Mujhse Dosti Karoge was like, Kareena, she's a very good actress. But in this movie, she's been told that you are playing the flirtatious girl. So a
Yeah.
flirtatious girl basically has nothing else to do but be flirty. So even when she's drinking coffee, she's making faces, I'm like, she never steps out of character. She So I just loved it. I completely enjoyed it because everybody was acting, in that 90s sense, acting except
Yeah.
for Uday Chopra, who was normal. So I was like,
Yeah.
ye actor hai.
Uday Chopra was cool in that. Yeah. But now I feel like watching, like, of all the recommendations. we have
Yeah, I
discussed,
want to watch Mujhse
I feel
Dosti
like
Karoge.
watching
Yeah.
Mujhse Dosti Karoge.
So by the way, I love this transition that we've gone from the boys to Mujhse Dosti Karoge. And currently, for 1 out of 3 panelists, Mujhse Dosti Karoge is winning ahead of the boys. So I just want to
100%.
mention that this is a thing.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm coming back. We'd have to go to bathroom. I asked
Okay.
politely also. Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
yeah, go for it, man. So okay, Ashish, I mean, to answer your old question about Dark, nobody really understood it. But yeah, some of these 90s movies are damn entertaining. I was, and it's so interesting how nobody, I think the concept of directors directing actors is still very alien to a lot of Indian viewers, right? That you don't
Uh,
understand that a lot of the times I saw this movie, uh, I've completely blanked out. There's something which I saw where I'm like, I expect the acting to be way better. Like, okay, I mean, this is not an example of what I'm talking about. Parivar, okay, I saw Parivar, which is the Kumar Varun and blah blah, and
uh,
fucking
uh,
ridiculous cast. Right, so that
uh,
cast, you're just like, even if you're just like karlo kuch, something will come
Yeah.
out of
uh,
it.
uh,
But in that, I mean, to talk about the expletives thing, I thought it was a really fun show. I didn't understand why the expletives were there in the middle, because ek to it's
hmm.
free on Hotstar, so I assumed that the number
Yeah.
of people comfortably watching this would increase by 30%, and those jokes I felt were needless because the cast is so good and the writing is fun that I'm like, well, this wasn't required. I mean, of course, I forgot about Gajraj Rao and Vijay Raz and
Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
everyone.
who else is there? It's this fucking supercar. So I'm still going to watch the entire series, but I just thought that it's a conversation I got to have with KV actually about the expletives, where I'm like, if you remove them, isn't it going to make the show sort of elevate a little bit?
Yeah.
Is yeah.
This is the problem I faced, not problem, but this thing in the lockdown, that my parents had nothing to watch because TV shows were just repeating. They were out of episodes. So I was
Yeah.
like, let me, get them Amazon, Netflix, and let them watch something. And I realized that there's nothing clean. Apart from a
Right.
couple of TVF shows, they saw Panchayat, they saw, I think, Ye Meri Family and all. But they can't watch anything. They can't watch Mirzapur. They can't watch Sacred Games. They can't watch Made in Heaven. They can't watch. I thought Family Man in my head because I've seen it so long and I thought the name is Family Man and it's like
Right.
middle
Yeah.
class guy being a cop. They can watch it. They put it on. In the first episode, there are galis again, which are not. I don't know if they were needed or not. But I was like, they can't watch the Family Man also. So now, so I was thinking there's not enough content, clean content on OTTs that parents can watch maybe.
Yeah. They can watch
What
something called, if you're getting Sony Live, you can watch something
good luck.
called Good Luck. That's,
Yeah.
that's
So I asked on Twitter and people said, but again, again TBF. So TBF is the
yeah.
only one who's making these very family friendly that you can sit with your family and watch shows. Everybody else is doing
Yeah.
this edgy stuff in India, which
Yeah, I mean, again, we are not saying that you shouldn't say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. We are sort of exploring this from the POV of
huh,
the creative output thing. Like, and and by the way, this exact conversation has been directed towards us.
us, yes,
Right, where it's like
100%.
तुम गाली गलौज
Yeah.
क्यों करते हो, मतलब गाली गलौज
Huh,
निकालो ना, फिर और लोग देख पाएंगे. And
huh,
it's a thing that you accept also, right, where it's like,
yeah,
yeah, maybe that will actually
yeah.
maybe it makes sense to tone down the expletives, and that's something that like I specifically have consciously tried to do, at least in my stand up.
I
Hmm.
did that
And
also with my
yeah.
recent Amazon funnies का एक जो clip आया था 10 minutes का. I
Hmm.
had one sex joke and one gali joke in that, and in the last draft I just removed it because I was like, if I just remove this, it can be watched by a lot more
Right.
people. Because
Yeah.
the usual complaint we get in our stand-up videos also is that this is really funny. I want to show it to my dad, but I can't because there's galis in it. So this was the first time I consciously was like, I want to make a fully clean set just to see what happens.
It's the same thing, right? Like whenever I if I'm live streaming, like the thing is when you're playing a game, right? It's very tough when you're in the zone. Suddenly something happens, you get very
Yeah,
angry. And like
yeah,
Sapan and I, we used to game in the cyber cafes. And trust me, if you ever game in a cyber cafe, it will put any Gali Galoch TV show to shame. Okay, the things that
yeah.
you hear, okay, the things that you hear from other people, and also eventually us. So now what happened is I'm consciously trying to correct myself while I'm streaming. So this happened the other day. Something happened. I died, and I was like, "Oh, and then I didn't want to say the word, so I said, "Bapuji," and that's what I ended up with. That was my new abuse, Bapuji. So
Some people might say that that's more offensive than other things,
Yeah,
but
it is.
yeah,
when
let's
I'm
It
seamlessly
is.
move on.
He's just calling for it.
what I just said,
Yeah.
Bapuji. How is Bapuji
Yes,
offensive? I didn't
I
say.
will
just,
distract
just,
this
yeah,
conversation by saying,
just
Varun
ponder over it
Tulsian,
later.
welcome to level 2 of membership. A couple of people have asked when we're doing the members only live stream. I think Friday was supposed to. I think tomorrow maybe I'll announce it in communities if you're doing it on live stream. I wanted to get like a hang with some fun people. I'll figure it out. I'll announce it shortly. Varun, Anmol Changmai on Super Chat, I've asked, started watching Barry and will start Curb with enthusiasm next, not with Curb your.
Yeah. Curb Your, I saw half of it and I stopped. I need to get back. It's a show that takes time to get used to.
Yeah. Have you seen Barry, Naomi, Sapan?
No,
Have you guys seen Barry or Curb?
Barry. I started watching Emily in Paris, and I completely agree with what Sapan was saying. It's so templated, and I can just tell when
Oh
it's.
my
Actually,
God.
I don't have a problem with templated and formulaic if at the end of the day there's some freshness at least, like
Yeah.
what they're trying to say. But
This
this was
gave,
like
I was so
from the
irritated with
first
this.
frame onwards, it was like, ये क्या है यार? Like writing off an Excel sheet. So I'm not going to watch that. I
Yeah.
watched Masaba, which
Yeah. They're so bad but so funny.
yeah, like it
It's
was,
okay.
It was
I feel
time
like,
pass.
no, I feel like, what we don't get right here is that when people play ditzy versions of themselves, like, it's so self-aware and it's so self-conscious that it's not fun. Like, when you're
Yeah.
saying that, oh, look at me, I'm so cool, I'm playing a kooky version of myself. It's not natural. It's like, look at me, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
I know it's sounding right, but it's
Yeah.
not natural. So when you see Kiara Advani in that show and she's
Oh my
playing
God.
over the top film star,
Yeah.
she's consciously saying, I'm so cool, I'm willing to do this, right? And it doesn't come
Yeah.
across that she's actually like that. So that self-aware sort of ditziness
Yeah.
that works for me, which works for me in Schitt's Creek because it's
Yes.
amazing. They're functional and they're wonderful and dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
like Moira is dysfunctional, but she's also a real person.
Yeah. Which
So-
shows sides of, which is really nice.
Every guest appearance in Masaba was so badly done. That was the
Yeah,
problem.
that's where the writing scores. Here it's like, acha, chal, come now. We'll show the world that you're really cool. You can make fun of yourself, and that's done.
Ah.
Like all of Filmfare Awards was that, and we've all worked on award show scripts,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
know that you have to do this whole thing of I'm so cool, I can make fun of myself. But it's
Yeah.
not, So and that was the problem I had. It was okay though. It was inoffensive. It's okay.
Ah.
So.
So I mean, talking about exactly this, I saw this episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Michael J. Fox in it, where they talk about Parkinson's, and it's like you're watching it and you're like, and then but it's really funny. It's really fucking funny, and it's also about, I think, finding your voice, right? So Larry David, for example, has figured it out with having written those episodes of Seinfeld and then been in that world and then conjured up a Curb Your Enthusiasm, or even like extras. It's like, I think it's having experience. So maybe season 2 or something. I've not seen Masaba, but I'm assuming that season 2 they'd get, what? And this is something I just want to tell everybody who produces comedy content in India. Just as a thought, okay, and I'm not trying to just plug myself here or comedians. Just get a comedian to do a once over on your scripts. Just once. We'll give suggestions.
Yeah.
If you accept them, great. If you don't accept them, also fine. But just have somebody do a do-over once to see that maybe you'll complete. And it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Sahil. It can be like whoever you like.
I'll do it.
But
Masaba definitely should not be Sapan. That's all I want to say is it should not be Sapan. That's all. That's all we want to know.
By the way, surprisingly, after one mic, I've been getting a lot of those calls, which I'm not doing. But to be a showrunner and do like production, which I didn't want to do. But Sahil, finish what you were saying. I know what you're saying.
No, nothing. I'll move on to the different thing. I was saying something. A show which I recommend if you're talking about like comedy, if you're talking about writing. Oh my God, such phenomenal writing in the comedy sphere. It's called Veep.
Amazing.
What? And especially now, if you're watching whatever's happening with the US elections, I know it doesn't matter to us, but once in a while, it's good to just watch that. Oh, Veep is so smart. Dude, the insults. Veep is known for zingers. So basically, every line is a zing. It's almost like you're watching a roast, but it's almost like very smartly done. Oh, man. Just very, very good show. So yeah, Veep is also.
I like how you said it's called Veep. Like we would be like, oh, what? Like we've never heard of Veep, man.
No, that's fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the crowd and the people are watching the chat.
Dude, it's so interesting. It's so interesting about Veep, where I try to watch a show called The Brink. Okay, and this is a 2015 show, and it's about politics, and I'm always fascinated by these shows. Like that's why I was very excited about Government. The show which the AIB was supposed to come out, which is amazing.
It is coming. Amazon has this thing commissioned it. It'll be coming out this year.
I'm excited about it, but I'm saying to get the political humor correct,
Yeah.
is such an so West Wing sort of set the template, and then Veep is like, hey, we're going to take it. The Brink is like, after having watched Veep and after having watched West Wing and all the and Yes Minister and all that kind of stuff, you watch it and you're like, this is really like, do you guys, is this a sketch show? And it's got Jack Black, who I love, and Tim Robbins or whatever, who I also love, and that lady from Home Alone, who's also phenomenal. And it's just like, it's just not good. It's very, very sad.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's not good. I just wrote it down as a show to watch. Chalo, delete.
don't watch
I'll
it.
delete from my list.
Oh,
Two shows by comedians.
I thought it's a good show.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. But I'm saying it's getting it wrong. It's not getting it that political thing correct. Yeah.
I think two shows by comedians that I actually liked. One was this very short 6-part series which came out on Netflix recently called The Duchess by Catherine Ryan, who's a comedian on Netflix special. Very nice show. 6 episodes, only 20 minutes. You'll watch it in one go. Very fun show. Very Fleabag zone fun show. And the other, of course, I really like the season 1 of Afterlife. Ricky Gervais, which was like sad and funny, like very weird zone, but very, very good. Really good.
You said it in passing, but even Fleabag is so good.
Yeah, Fleabag is good, but purana ho gaya, so I didn't say.
So there's the other show on your Hotstar, which is by the creator of Fleabag. It was called Run. Have you seen it? It's a 6-part series, and it started off very well. And it's sort of, I mean, they're calling it a comedy. It's not a comedy. It's more like a thriller, but funny. And it's really good. But
Run.
Yeah, Run. Just check it out. But season 1 ended very like, it was a bit of a damn squib. So I don't know what they'll do with season 2, but it's quite worth the watch. It's quite well done. You know, so that's something that you could.
I was watching this. That's the thing, right? Like all these, I like shows that have 6 episodes or like 8 episodes because I like chota hai. It's easy to watch. I was watching IT Crowd recently, the British version. It is 5 episodes per season, and what I was laughing at was that I think the show came out really early, 2005, and it's British humor, so it's going to be obscure. But there are so many things where I swear to God, if the show would have been made today, cancelled within the first 10 minutes of the show. I'm like, this show would not survive. It's not possible also. It's so offensive to so many things.
Okay, I got to take some super chats. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Ashish Shahane, aka Ayushi. Hi, Ayushi. I hope you're doing well. In shows, have you watched Everybody Loves Raymond? Obviously, everybody's seen Everybody Loves Raymond. My wife wrote for the Hindi version of it, which was called Sumit Sambhal Lega. So, Sapan, did you write any episodes for that, or you approached?
No,
you did?
No.
I think Kautuk also wrote.
Kautuk was one of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in movies, has anyone watched Coraline based on Neil Gaiman's book? I haven't seen Coraline. Has anyone seen Coraline?
No, I need to see that. I love his books, but need to watch the movie.
And it's I think it's made in that very weird animation fashion, which is
stop
quite
motion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it stop motion? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. So we will watch it. Thanks for the recommendation. I usually really appreciate it. Rajat Shah says, besides Breaking Bad, every non-sitcom I've ever loved ended in the worst possible way. Lost, Dexter, Got, the list goes on.
Okay. Good endings is a good discussion though. Yeah. What shows end with? It's very difficult to end with.
It's a great, which show I thought ended beautifully for a comedy was Silicon Valley.
I have not seen the ending.
No, yeah. It was completely unexpected. It was completely unexpected. What direction could they have gone? I mean, without revealing too much, it was completely unexpected the zone that they went in. But yeah, let's talk about good and bad endings.
Office.
Have you seen Silicon Valley?
I've seen it, but I don't, but not like completely. I've seen bits and parts.
The ending of The Office has to be everything that they did for the last 2 seasons. Then they wrapped it up. They brought it together. Yeah. I feel Office has been one of the best endings for me.
And one of the best.
Sapan doesn't like The Office, I can say.
No, I could not get into Office. I saw 4 episodes. I'm like, theek hai, acha hai, but everybody says watch the first 2 seasons, then you'll start loving it. And I'm like,
yeah, it's a show. But... So I'll tell you what happened. The first season that they made, they were basing it on the British show. Because they based it on the British show, what they did was I saw this essay also. That's where my knowledge comes from. But Michael Scott's character was supposed to be unlikable, like horrible. Like the Ricky Gervais version of the character is a disgusting. You want to hate him. After the first season, they realized this character is not working. All these tropes are not working. So in the second season, they changed the character up. And I know I'm nerding out over here, but what they did was, for the first season, they buttoned his shirt till here, so his neck fat came out. They gelled his hair back, so they made him look also horrible as well as feel horrible. Second season, they fixed that. So once you watch it second season onwards, now you will notice a character shift, and then it becomes pure. Your sound died, Sorabh. Sorabh, your sound died.
I'm saying don't watch the first 2 seasons of Office. Start on season 4.
Just
start on season 4.
Maybe
because
because
the first 2-3 seasons was like, even I was like, theek hai, chalega. But season 4 is when it starts getting really like
it's so good,
borderline offensive and stupid. Like, but again, the thing is that like I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has become one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Because every moment, like, it's one of the few shows that uses the title of the episode as a punchline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is so fucking cool. Where each time it's like always a twist, it's always this thing where it's like, we're never going to get cancer, gang gets cancer. And it's just, it's so strange.
I feel like to have a show like that in 2020, despite cancel culture still going all out to prove that, you know what, fuck you. Like I'm just going to give one scene to explain the show to people who are watching. They go to a water park and they realize that there's a kid who has cancer and the kid can get access to all the rides quickly. So they decide that Danny DeVito is going to put marks on his body and go around screaming, I have AIDS, I have AIDS. And that is the entire crux of the show. It's so stupid, but it works because the characters are assholes. They made the show in such a way that the characters are assholes, so the actions are justified. But no one is like, cancel it. That's the thing.
No,
right?
but 1 second, what are you talking about? You're completely out of your depth there. People did say cancel it. It's just that the amplification did not happen because It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has been around for like 16 years.
Yeah.
The first 8-9 years, they were constantly getting pushback for a lot of stuff. And if you notice that there's about 7 episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which are not available anywhere. Because they did blackface.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So because they did blackface, those episodes are just removed from existence. They're not there on Hulu. They're not there on whatever Prime or Hotstar, whoever has it. And it's not anywhere. They've literally culled those episodes from existence.
Those are the lethal weapon. The lethal weapon parody.
The lethal weapon. But okay, Naomi, what do you think? Which show do you think landed well? Like, what is the ending where you're like, this is the shit?
I think Schitt's Creek, fine. And I'm going back. I think that ended quite well. I think it rounded up quite well. And it's amazing that it was discovered. It's been around for 6 seasons and it was just discovered this year. It's like everyone went into quarantine and they all watched Schitt's Creek because it's been around for that many years. And suddenly everybody's become cult. And I don't know, this coincidence where everybody discovered it at the same time. And I was just thinking, if it was an Indian show, by now everyone would have been like boycotted because full nepotism, na? Father, son, even the sister gets a role. It would have been ye hai, nepo gang, boycott, all those 80,000 bots would have been boycott this, boycott Emmys, because how can you give this show all these awards?
Award
I think for me this year has been pretty much like I was a late sort of. I went on to it quite late. Like people kept talking about it. I was like, "Acha, chal, let's watch it." And it took some time to grow on me, but I really like enjoyed it. I think it left me quite satisfied. You know, at the end of it, I wasn't like, okay, where the characters went. So yeah, that show worked well for me. What else have I watched? Actually, I'm not been investing in series. I've just been watching a lot of films. I watch a lot of Malayalam films. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm constantly talking about Malayalam films. So I really enjoy that.
Like give us some recommendations because I don't think I've seen. I think I may have seen maybe 2 at max. I haven't seen much.
So last year Kumbalanki Nights released. Okay, and everybody discovered Malayalam through that film. And everybody started talking about it. I got very irritated because I'm one of those people. I'm like, dude, I have been watching it since 2014. I have only given birth to Malayalam cinema. How are you all talking about it? But they do a lot of. So, but you have to be a little patient because they spend like the setup time is a lot. So the movie is like about 2.5 hours long, which now is quite long. So usme first 1 hour is set up. So they will tell you this is Sorabh, he gets up, he does this show, and some very sweet things will happen. But you're like, okay, where's the story? The story will start after 1 hour. So you've got to be a little patient with it. But it's fun. Like I've been like today, I think one movie is going to release, which is called Halal Love Story on
Right.
Amazon Prime, and you
On
should watch.
Prime.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It's you should watch it because the director before this made a film called Sudani from Nigeria, and it's just an art the way they get things right. You should watch Halal Love Story. The trailer was really lovely, and it's breaking today. And if you've
Okay.
seen
Right.
any of Fahad Fasil's films, so you should watch because
Dude, see you soon also. The one which he released right now was really nice. Super Deluxe was really nice. I love that
Super
guy. He's a
Deluxe.
great actor.
Yeah, Super Deluxe was very good. But yeah, you should watch Premam, which is like a Ribbon Poly film. Hotstar, it'll have that. Plenty of really good Malayalam films, really, especially in the last decade or so. They've had some sort of resurgence, and so
Right.
really good stuff coming out of there. But you have to be a little patient because they do a lot of setup. So yeah.
But it's so it's like, I mean, these, I'm going to try and put all these recommendations in the comments so that people can read
I'll
them
give you a
later.
list. I'll give you a
Yeah.
list for sure.
I've tried to keep a list and I'm putting it on our WhatsApp group. But yeah, I just want to talk about something. Yeah, I'm going to read two super chats and then I want to come to this. I want to come to this very weird thing that I noticed globally about people who nominate comedies don't understand comedies. Right, like okay, Schitt's Creek. I understand 6 seasons, and I've not seen more than 3 episodes, so I don't. If you both of you saying it lands well, I'm sure it does. But I'm just reading the list of nominees for Emmy Awards for outstanding comedy series. Okay, Dead to Me. I've seen it. It's nice. It's okay.
I saw one episode.
Insecure. Yeah, it's all right. Schitt's Creek, fine. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel makes sense. Kaminsky Method, I've seen it. It's all right. Curb Your Enthusiasm, absolutely. Good Place, I don't know about the last season. How was it? Anyone seen it?
Oh,
I
nice.
saw-
Little slow, but nice. And that also ended. Oh, Good Place also ended up very nicely wrapped everything in a
Okay.
very like feel good. Oh, nice. I'm happy.
Okay, then so that makes sense. What We Do in the Shadows makes sense.
Ooh,
The show was
yes.
absolutely ridiculous.
that
But
comedy?
the fact, yeah, oh, dude, it's so stupid. You first see the movie. So there's a movie which is made by Taika Waititi, the guy
Taika
who-
Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid, dude. It is beautifully stupid. It's like, they've shot it like almost like a handheld camera kind of situation, but with CGI. So it's ridiculous.
I'll just interrupt Sorabh because that is by far like I love the movie and show, so I'll just quickly interrupt. So basically, back in 2000 and I think 15 or so, they shot this mockumentary. They shot a mockumentary where the camera crew follows three vampires around doing
Right.
their thing. Okay, and that was just a funny mockumentary that they shot, and at that time there was no CGI. Also, it was just very simple. Like, okay, here I'm going to kill someone. Okay, just see like that. So that, and it's hilarious. It's so funny, and that led to them forming a TV show. TV show season 1 came out. Season 1 is fun, but season 2 is where they explore the world, because season 2 now mummies have come, ghosts have come,
Yeah.
zombies have come, and it is so well made. How much I've laughed. Okay, cool, done. That's it. I pimped the show out.
But see, the reason why I don't agree with this shit is because I don't know why there's this perception globally that animation doesn't count. Like
Yeah, that's a big
go
problem.
fuck yourself if you're telling me that BoJack Horseman's closing season, holy shit. Like I was very skeptical about watching the last season because I'm like, I'm not getting in the zone. And then I just went through the entire last season in like a span of 4 days, and I was like, fuck, that show landed very nicely. Like it was wrong and it was right and it was just great. So if you're saying that BoJack Horseman is not one of the best comedies of 2020, just fuck off. And same I would say for Rick and Morty. Same I would say for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I thought the last season was okay, not as great as before. Barry, South Park should be nominated every year. Like, I mean, that's just, it's bullshit that you're telling me that South Park is still probably the funniest show out there. Like, it's untouchable.
Yeah.
Every year they're fucking ridiculous. So every time I see these kind of Emmy comedy, it's even the Grammy awards nominations for comedy, like barring 2 or 3 are absolute bullshit. like as a comedian, you go through them. You're like, I've watched all of this, and only 2 of them are qualifying. Like I think last year they had Dave Chappelle, they have Jim Gaffigan, both very good specials, and the other 3 were like, ठीक है. Like it's like yeah. So it's just a grouse that I have about people nominating comedies without understanding comedy. Like it's one of those things. Anyway, everybody's yawning, so I will read some super chats. Oh, by the way, inchara.s.b says, have you guys watched Taika's What We Do in the Shadows?
That's what, yeah.
Brilliant vampire comedy available on Hotstar. Completely recommended. Great fun. Watch the movie first, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, trust
Even
me,
on
best.
Sunday.
It's just amazingly stupid, and like after a point, you're like, how have you come up with such craziness and fit it in an episode?
Yeah. Subhajit Dinda says, a movie that I think nobody watched is The Wind. It's a late 80s movie which has both horror and serial killer and in an isolated island. Okay, that's interesting. What is The Wind about?
I think.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, there's some film in 2018. I think he's talking about a 1980s movie.
No, because if I'm not wrong, I think there was one more. Like I think it was an Indian version of it was called Hawa, which was made with Tabu.
I have seen Hawa.
Yeah, and a ghost that does things to Tabu.
Yeah. So I watched Murder with the Malika Sherawat, and I felt like, oh, this is not enough for me. I need more. So those days it was Gaiety Galaxy, right? So in Gaiety you had Murder, and in Galaxy you had Hawa. So I went for back-to-back shows because I was like, this is not enough.
I think you should do one Bollywood panel with Naomi.
Huh?
Yeah.
You should do one Bollywood panel with Naomi.
I will just tell you about Bollywood.
Yeah.
So I have also watched all sorts of. I watched Tom, Dick, and Harry and Tatastu back to back. I just went for lunch in between. So
Okay.
So
I'm going to just Naomi. Why don't you just talk? Because I feel now like if there was a graph, right, of things that people watched and enjoyed. Once you mentioned Tom, Dick, and Harry, it started sloping. Now you said Tatastu.
Back to back, that too. I just took a lunch break in between and I watched these movies. So yeah.
But we can't complain because Sahil, we watched Grand Masti in IMAX.
Yeah.
We can't complain.
Anyways, good panel, guys. See you. Bye.
Which one was Tathastu? I've completely forgotten. What was Tathastu?
It had Sanjay Dutt in it, and okay, my excuse was I used to review films. Murder and Hawa I saw for fun. I wasn't reviewing them, but these 2 I had to review, so it was my work and all. Okay, so don't judge me. But I went willingly and watched it. So yeah. And, but you know what? Not that it's a comedy, but Succession is brilliant also.
So good. Succession is really good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to elevate myself a little bit, like after
trying to come back to Emmy nominated.
I'm going to put Tom, Dick, and Harry as one of the recommendations, by the way, for no reason. By the way, I got to ask you: has anyone? And this is a question that I'm curious about. Since you review movies, have you seen Sadak? Yeah, but the trend continues, right? Where you unconsciously are pushing yourself to watch shit that you probably wouldn't watch. Is Sadak 2 as bad as people are saying it is?
Worse.
That didn't take any thinking.
You don't even have to complete it before you ask. You're like, why? Why are you even asking me this shit?
Is it really bad?
It is really bad. It is really bad. It is unimaginably bad. It is not so bad. It is good. It is so bad that it is the worst. Yeah.
Sorabh, in your private streams, can you watch movies together and review it?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Members only stream or something.
But you'll get copyright. You'll still get a copyright.
It doesn't. We can do it on Discord or something. We can do it on Discord or watch it on Zoom or some shit.
Should watch a movie.
There's way. I'm sure there's a way. We can do it on OBS some way. I'm sure there's some method to do it. So yeah. Just a couple of super chats here. Anirudh Agnihotri asks, have you guys watched Space Force?
Yes. Wow, terrible show.
Yep. Very disappointing. I watched 2 episodes and I'm like, what? Why? Why did you do this to yourselves? Okay, Varun Tulsian, again, welcome to level 2. Rajat Singh says, Bandish Bandits, it's very different and beautiful.
Yeah, that's good.
Great show?
Actually quite good. I've not seen it completely, but my mother really loved it and she didn't mind the galis. There were lots of galis apparently.
There were lots of galis. Same thing happened.
She was very happy. So my mom is from UP. So she was very happy with it. She said, "Yes, normal hai, kuch nahi hai aisa." Like like so I was like, also there's Kunal Roy Kapoor in the series, and so she was very. And so I know him, like he's a friend. So she was very impressed with how he was giving galis. So I actually told him that my mother's very impressed with how effortlessly you were giving galis. And he was like, oh God, what a compliment to get. But my mom was like, very good galis, very well done. But she loved it. She loved the music, and she really liked it. She's been asking me to watch it. So I watched bits and parts of it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
So,
directed by Anand Tiwari.
man.
Yeah, Anand Tiwari
Man,
starring
Anand Tiwari.
Nasiruddin Shah. By the way, so it's so funny the way that you mentioned this. So one of my favorite podcasts, as I've mentioned this before, is Our Last Week with Anubhav Pal and Kunal Roy Kapoor. And it is fucking hilarious. And in I think one of the last episodes, Anubhav asked him, "It's like, hey Kunal, the movies you're known for is when you were shitting and when you are abusing. So is that a prerequisite for any role you take in the future?" And they literally have an 11-minute conversation about that. So again, I'm recommending that show once again. So he talks about being getting compliments for his abuses in Bandish Bandits. Okay, last two super chats, and then we'll. There's a lot of super chats, by the way.
Read them, Sorabh.
Okay, I'll just quickly read these, and then we'll come back to it. Sekat Raha says, if you want to watch engaging stuff, watch anime. I'm going to do a separate stream on anime because I've watched like about 4 separate ones through and through, and I'm in the midst of watching a couple more. So I need to figure out comedians and other people who are interested in anime. Is anybody here interested in anime?
No, I haven't seen, but you'll find a big fan base for that.
Yeah. So I watched a reasonable amount of it. So I'm happy to do if anyone can recommend people who watch anime, please tell me. I will. Pranav Kotai says Dexter is returning if you haven't spoken about it. What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, it is returning. I just read about it. It's just been given another season. So it's returning. I just read it before coming on. Yeah. I was going to break that news. I forgot.
I mean, that's like, it's, okay, this is going to be a spoiler for Dexter. So if you've not seen Dexter, just shut your ears for the next 33 seconds. Just shut your ears if you've not seen Dexter. So I'll be happy with the season 8 of Dexter because I loved Dexter. It's fucking brilliant. And also, I think a lot of people will be relieved that his sister's not going to be there in season 8 because she was a little bit irritating. So yeah. Okay, if you guys need to bounce, I think everybody wants to leave in the next 10 minutes. So we're going to end in the next 10 minutes. So we'll just do 10 minutes more and we'll bounce. I'm sure everybody's got places to be. By the way, about 1,000 people watching right now. Please like and subscribe to the channel and share and all this bullshit. I mean, consistently, there's been that many numbers, which is not bad. In Charas, we've already discussed about this thing. Mr. Ronzi has given 40 rupees just to say Jai Mata Di, let's rock. Absolutely agree.
Jai Mata, DLR.
Odesh Sharma says Kim's Convenience on Netflix if you like Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
It's good or what?
I've again heard about it, saying that it's not bad at all. It's a good comfort watch. Like if you're looking for some nice, easy, light viewing.
Yeah, it's not hilarious.
That's quite good. Yeah.
Check it out. I'll check it out.
Kim's Convenience is cute, fun. Schitt's Creek is funnier. Kim's Convenience is basically a Korean family living in Canada. And it's got very, like, the culture is very Indian culture type family things that daughter should get married and son should get a job. That things you'll draw a lot of parallels like that. It's very Indian family type thing. Very cute show, but not like crazy, but very nice and easy breezy watch. Cute show.
But that's why also South Korea is doing. So I'm on this like WhatsApp group with my school friends and all, and they're all mummies right now. And you don't know how big South Korean dramas are for women, especially because like you said, the culture is very similar to India, and the storytelling is very like. So we have stopped making rom-coms and love stories and all of that because we want to make just edgy stuff. So we don't make these simple rom-coms anymore. So South Korea is. They just make a lot of these kind of like Crash Landing on You. If you've seen it, it's a cult. So it's got a cult following in India. In South Korea, of course, the hero, he's like this ideal of male beauty. He's quite good looking also, I must say. But South Korean dramas is another thing which is like huge. Like in India, after Pakistani series, I think it's South Korean, which is I haven't really.
A lot of people are watching it now.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to do a Korean drama thing because Anu Menon is obsessed with Korean dramas. I'm happy to hear that you are one of them because now I have 3 people who are obsessed with. Ideally, I wanted to get 4 people. You know who's the 4th person apparently who's obsessed with Actually, I'm not apparently. I've confirmed that this is the husband. Is Deepika Palekal, the squash champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So so Anu Menon has instructed me ages back that I have to do a Korean this thing with Deepika Pallikal. But I think Nivedita Prakasam is also this thing. So yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do one where I'm going to watch like a few episodes and then let's talk about it. I think it'll be kind of fun. We'll just talk about Korean dramas for like 1.5
We watch
hours.
Crash
Makes
Landing on
sense.
it because it's like
Yeah.
cult. It's really cult, and it's also because it follows the sort of the soap pattern which we don't do on like streaming platforms.
Anymore.
And
Yeah.
it's not as stupid as the soaps we do now on Star Plus. So that's why
Yeah.
it's huge. It's really huge. People are addicted. Yeah.
I've already sent my manager a reminder saying this has to be done.
Uh,
Vedant Chaudhary says South Park OP. Dude, South Park is I'm serious. Like it's every I started rewatching South Park recently, and it's still the funniest shit out there, and the kind of stuff they get away with and do is ridiculous.
And still relevant. Like I think right
yeah.
now they're doing a pandemic-based episode. Like it's just so much fun.
And it's like some 1 hour pandemic special. It's great. Rajat Shah says, you think it's high time Western audiences learn to watch content with subtitles like us Asians? Case in point, a Suitable Boy trailer. As in, you mean like, oh, acha, you mean like rather than doing it in English, do it in Hindi. Yeah.
But A Suitable Boy, really, my God, the accents, those, most of them, the way they were talking in English, I just saw the trailer and I was like, I can't watch this. Like, everybody was talking in that exaggerated Indian English, everybody, I felt like everybody was going to bob their heads like this at any point of time. So that's like one of the reasons I may not watch it,
Yeah, I'm just curious to watch because Tabu.
Yeah, Tabu and I. But mostly the English dialogue just seemed so stilted.
Yeah.
It was like a school play. So,
Yeah.
I've been corrected by the chats with Sugar Fries telling me Korean drama mat bulao usko boomer, K-drama hote hain.
Okay.
I'll continue calling it. I will continue calling it Korean drama just because it pisses you off. I love Korean dramas.
Korean
dramas
drama.
are great.
Oh my
Korean
God.
drama.
Korean drama.
Korean drama. Ab
I
aur
love
bolo.
it.
Aur bolo.
I love Korean pop. I love everything.
Yeah. I love Manchester United Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Football club. I don't call it. Yeah.
My favorite band is TBS. I don't know if you've heard of them. Oh my God. They
TBS
are so
is
good.
great
TBS
band,
is great.
Oh, lovely band is TBS.
Don't correct us.
It's not even correcting. It's just trying to be cool. It's not like Sorabh was saying anything wrong.
Anyway,
Like,
no,
how can you
I'm
call it
happy. I'm happy people correcting me. Shivam Dugal says, have you guys seen Entourage? If not, then it's a must watch.
Of course.
That's an
Right,
ending that you'd
yeah.
like. Are you serious? The ending sucked, dude. Dude, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
No, the show.
Movies.
The show. He's
Movies
talking
are
about
so-
the show.
The show.
I know. The show, I wasn't very pleased at the end. At the last season, I was like, you know what? Like when shows which are like funny and whatever, and suddenly start talking about love and family, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm watching this not
Hey,
to
man.
talk about this stuff. Like I'm already there. I'm already in the
Your
last
problem.
season. So go ahead. But Entourage has dated so badly. It's
Yeah.
aged
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
badly, dude. It's
So
like,
badly.
I watched it recently. I still enjoyed it. It was great fun, but it's not aged well. It's not.
It did not age well at all. He also Californication.
Yeah.
Same
Oh, yeah,
problem.
not aged well. Yeah.
Same problem.
Even close
It
to
used
age
to be one
well.
of my favorite shows back then, dude. So Californication used to come on some Indian channel. So I won some contest where they sent me tea coaster of Californication. Okay, and that time I was a fan of Californication, so I really went around and I put a picture of it and all. I found a picture right now. Those tea coasters are so fucked up now. Life is too short to dance with fat chicks. Is one Californication tea coaster. I'm like, this can't be in my house. What is this? all of these are Hank Moody's dialogues. Just all the fucked up dialogues. I'm like, what is going on?
Okay. Hemant Kumar says, I love some shows and leave them after season 1, and I'm happy that I stopped, like Handmaid's Tale, Killing Eve, Dark, La Casa de Papel, Money Heist.
Okay.
Yeah, Killing Eve was fun, but yeah,
Good. Yeah.
Killing Eve was season 1 was the best.
Yeah.
Killing Eve is another one which is on the list for a while. Okay. Last two super chats. Tushar Dhodhi, sorry. Thank you for your super chat. Vedant Shah says, not being creepy, but if I had a massive crush on Naomi for years, great show, Sorabh. So there you go.
Oh, I'm not creepy at all.
Please send more compliments.
Yeah.
Even on normal chat, I'll read compliments for anybody about if you have a crush on any of us. We're happy to hear. Superb, guys. This has been fun. We've covered a lot. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the shows that we've spoken about in the movies and stuff like that in the comments. And as I said, I'll announce my stuff afterwards. But you guys, if there's anything coming up, if you'd like to promote anything, it could be Twitter, Instagram, whatever you guys are up to. Naomi, anything that's happening, please tell us. Please tell us.
Nothing is. There is a show which is coming soon on Netflix, but I can't talk about it. So when it comes, then you all say nice things about it when it comes.
Subtle.
Oh, read my book. Read my book. Sorry, what am I saying? Please read my book and all.
Wait, it's called How to Be
a Likeable Bigot.
Likeable Bigot. That's what it is.
The second part is sorted. The first part people have to work on. Like, no problem. Like, the bigot part is very sorted. Now we just need to get the likable part sorted.
Should you do the sequel is like How to Be an Unlikable Bigot, where it's just like
I already have it, so who will buy my guidebook?
Yeah. So go check out and on Twitter you are Naomi Noy Now sorry Me Datta. So follow Naomi on Twitter. Sapan, Sahil, anything coming up? Please say.
I have just subscribed to my YouTube channel. Unpopular opinion streams are happening every week, and join my Discord. Fun place to be.
Subscribe to my channel also. I have nothing on it, but just subscribe for fun.
Yeah,
I have 50 subscribers.
Like Sapan doesn't want to do streaming. We all are nicely, happily streaming and doing it and enjoying. So it's fun.
I like going on people's streams. Like I love coming on Sorabh's stream. It's so chilled out and just sit and talk. But I don't want to stream. Not my thing. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. But someday I'll do something on my YouTube channel. Till then.
By the way, I know you guys have to bounce, but I'm going to read after. If anybody wants to bounce, you can leave. I'm going to just sort of go through my Reddit right now, because I have a Reddit which has been started by Rishabh Agarwal and I've not focused on it at all. So I'm going to read some comments from my Reddit after you guys head, if you guys want to head. And also I'm going to talk about my Discord.
Awesome.
So follow Naomi on Twitter, buy her book. Sahil has his own streams which are coming up.
Subscribe!
Subscribe! And Sapan Verma is subscribed to his 50 followers and other stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for coming. Yes, ma'am.
Mujhse dosti karogi.
And we will definitely watch Mujhse Dosti Karegi.
That's the most important thing.
Mujhse Dosti
Also,
Karegi.
Figure out a way to watch movies on your private stream or something.
I think we can do it on Discord. I think I would tell Manav to figure it out, but he won't. So I'll ask Jayant.
What? I will. What is this?
I just love baiting him for no reason. Okay, so Manav will figure out how we can watch. So get on my Discord server, and it's actually a fun idea to try and see if we can watch movies on Discord. I think that's fun. So Manav is going to figure it out. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Sapan. Thanks, Sahil. Thanks, Naomi.
Thank you, Sorabh. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun, and please watch everything we recommend. It's a must watch.
Everything. Don't leave anything.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go through my Reddit now.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I have a Reddit. I'm going to put the link once again here, because I've been told by Rishabh Agarwal that I'm not focusing on it at all. And I genuinely am not, but I'm here right now. And the first comment on my Reddit is, why is this subreddit dead? But it's fun. He's doing a good job. There's like quite a few posts up there. There's like old, oh God, this one where Ariana Grande is superimposed on my face, which is just disturbing. I put the link there. You can go check it out. There's one with Jose Cavaco, and there's some images and about me being Dr. Kholkar and all that kind of stuff. And something about bots or whatever that is there. So please check that out. Also, I've gotten on Discord, as I've already mentioned before. A few of you have joined my Discord. I'm going to try and figure it out and speak to Nishant and Angad and try and see how this actually works. I will put the link for that as well. So try and get there. Hopefully, we should be figuring out how to sort of wait, what is this? I don't even know. There's a lot of people on. I don't even know what's happening with this. So this is my Discord server right here. You guys can head there if you like. Oh, thanks, man. Rajat Shah has already joined Discord. I appreciate that. I'm going to try and see how many members and all I have, but I'm on it. And if you want proof, I have typed saying I am here, okay, for this moment, okay, and I've written okay, bye. So okay, bye. So yeah, that's my Discord. And again, I will announce who's coming tomorrow. Sorry, on Saturday we have Daniel Fernandez, Sharul Chana, and Dr. Jason Leong, who has sort of he has a new special on Netflix called #Blessed. So go check that out before Saturday. This thing, it's happening at 1:30 on Saturday. Sunday also I'll figure out somebody. I haven't locked it yet. And what else is there? Yeah, coming up, there's John Ronson coming up, who's the author. I would suggest read his book, So You've Been Publicly Shamed. There's going to be, I think, Ritviz is coming one of the days. Ranveer Alabadia, aka Beer Biceps, is going to be on, I think, next Saturday. And lots of people are coming up, so keep coming back. And again, if you want to support this podcast, Instamojo and PayPal is the place to be. Josh Bhatt says 66 members. For what? For something. One of these things has 66 members.
For
Keep
Reddit.
joining for Reddit. Okay. And I don't know how many on Discord. I don't know how this even works, but I will
Are
figure
we
it out.
doing a Reddit review?
What does that mean?
Are you going to share the screen and just
I
go
think
through your
it's-
Reddit page?
I've been through it. I think people can see it. Sorry, my things are stuck in my throat, so I'm skipping that. But go through the page. I'll review it one of the other days properly.
Okay.
Keep posting Rishabh Agarwal. I will review it and see what we can do. Thanks a lot, by the way, to Rishabh. A very nice man. Thanks for running that Reddit. It's very, very nice of you. And yeah, Akhil Pisharodi, what Ritviz? Yeah, I'm talking to Ritviz. He's a very sweet guy, and I've been humming his song "Chalo Chale" for the last 3 days. Generally, that's why I got in touch with him. People are already commenting on my Discord saying server needs some improvement. I don't even know what the server is. So I think it definitely needs 72 people on my Discord. So please keep adding the numbers and I'll keep trying to use it. Rahul Gaikwad has given a super chat saying 6 feet under also has complete ending. I got to rewatch that, man. I really got to. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you guys on Saturday, and some stand-up shows also coming up soon. I will announce those shortly. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks to all my mods, Kajol Agarwal, always busy doing a lot of work. To all the members out there, Sharanya Deva, who's another mod, really nice. Manav Avasti, as always. Niharika, always. Niharika's surname is what? What is Niharika's surname? Modi? Niharika Modi? Sure. Fine. It's Niharika Modi. I don't know. That's his name.
Anushali.
Niharika Bhanushali. Thanks to Niharika. See, I give full names so people can follow you guys on LinkedIn. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Goodbye. Take care. Love you all. Marry me.